Hello.
What up? If you can join the TTS lobby so you can watch it and commentate with me.
Sure.
I think I've got everything set up and good to go. Started the
Yep, I see it live. Oh, I didn't turn the music on. Let me it's fine, I'll check. I just saw that it was live on the page. I didn't actually click on it. Yeah, I can hear it. I can also hear myself. Okay.
Hey, what's up?
Hello.
What's the plan?
Nom is Nom and then Nathan and then
No, no, it's Will, Nom, me, you.
yes.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, all three of us can commentate it, right? It's not.
It don't matter.
It doesn't hurt.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
I
to me.
mean, normally it's two people talking most of the time. Then if there's something important, the third person can say something once in a while. But sure, yeah. We'll play it by ear, whatever.
Am I supposed to be in that room?
Yes, you are.
All right, I'm hopping in. Just tell me what the. Are we live right now?
Yes.
Nice. What's the room? Oh, I see it. Okay. Just tell me the password.
I put it in the chat.
In the Facebook chat?
Yep.
Okay.
That's weird. TTS window still shows.
All right, let's go.
Just change me to gray.
You can change yourself.
Oh, yep. Look at that. Look at that.
All right, we ready?
I think we are ready to go.
You guys have Icelander on the left or FI?
I've got Fi on the right, Icelander on the left for the stream.
Perfect.
Alright everybody, welcome to the FAB Team Cup. We are currently up 1-0 versus KayFabe cards. This is going to be the Card Guys versus KayFabe cards. There are 5 single matches that we need to play. So we will end up playing 5 individual matches versus their team. I believe I'm the only one that had to play before this, as my opponent just couldn't, his time zone just, or his work schedule didn't line up for this. So we have the rest of the 4 matches tonight. I believe we've got Will on the right here versus Majin Bay on the left. Majin's on Icelander and Will is on FAB. I had to play an Icelander versus Kano for the first match, the one that I won. One of the rules for the team league is we all have to play different heroes on the team, so you won't see the same hero repeated on a single team, which kind of spices things up, gets people out of their comfort zone sometimes, and you kind of never know what you're going to play against. So I think this is a really cool format, and I'm expecting a lot of high quality play here. I know Majin's a fantastic Icelander player, and Will's been playing FAB for quite a while now too, so this should be a good one.
Yep, this is my mic working?
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, you're good.
Okay, yeah, because I don't see Discord flashing up, but whatever. This is actually going to be one of the more classic matchups, in that Dynasty didn't really change anything for these decks.
Whoa, did it? Was that a snatch in Icelander? What?
Big ol'
Nope.
snatch.
Oh, I think my TTS crashed. I'll
Uh-oh.
rejoin because I don't see anything. I just saw the Ronin Renegade being played.
Well, looks
Oh, yeah,
like
we're on the whole next turn.
yeah. It's all
Yeah, I was
good.
wondering. I was like, this is taking a while to play 3 Go again.
That's one thing that I noticed about Majin Bay when he played in the Goliath Gauntlet series was his type of Icelander style was he like really favors actually arsenaling an attack versus typical cards that you see. Like he had the choice to arsenal that frosting, and he clearly did not. So that's one thing that I noticed about his style.
Yeah, I think he actually likes to experiment with this Icelander deck, try different things, and really value those red attacks, which is something I've actually been researching a little bit about how Hamilton plays Icelander as well, and he's the same way. He highly values those red attacks. He's very, very willing to arsenal them and very unwilling to block with them if he can help it.
Is Snatch kind of a new addition?
Yeah, that's not typical. If you're thinking about like the typical Hamilton build, then Snatch is not in that deck. So we got a Mounting Anger, good old classic 1 for 4. Majin's probably noticing that Will pitched a red for this Mounting Anger, so this Frostbite's probably going to hurt pretty bad.
Yep. Anytime you draw a red as FAB, you can't swing your Ember Blade, which is, a good 30-40% of your damage output for turns.
Right.
Yeah.
It's also one of the reasons I've found that FAB is very hard to fatigue. 3 damage over and over and over and over across the course of a game without burning a card is very powerful. Insidious Chill against FAB, that's interesting. I am not a fan of playing, as a newer player to Icelander. Obviously Majin has way more experience, so I would definitely trust his decisions here. But from an outsider standpoint looking in on Icelander, I think that a 2-block card that doesn't really have an impact on the game, the way I play the deck, doesn't seem like it fits very well, but I'm curious to see how that card plays out in this matchup.
Insidious Chill also gets less value against decks running Belittle. And speaking of Belittle, we have one being played. Of note, it's a yellow.
Yes, yellow Belittle. You will bring in every copy of Belittle you have in this matchup. Ooh, Belittle plus Art of War. This is great. So now we know Will has the Salt the Wound in hand, and he has a blue to get around any frostbites that he might be dealing with. So this is powerful.
Not seeing the arsenal being played already kind of indicates that might be an attack in the arsenal.
Very likely it could be a red card, yeah. banished the Salt the Wound with the Art of War. I'm thinking Will runs multiple copies of Salt the Wound so that he can indeed go get it off the mask later.
Art of War off Tunic is just really powerful.
The Belittle, I believe, was off of the Tunic, right?
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah. And then the Art of War
either
played
way.
with the blue. Yeah, either way, extremely powerful. Yeah, absolutely.
Turning your Tunic into a blue. Always good.
We doing a... Did he do draw a card here? Maybe he did go again with the Art of War?
Yep. I would think he would put a dice on the Art of War if it was +1.
Let's hope he would for our sake, right?
Oh.
Oh, okay.
Okay, that
So he probably just did draw
Ooh.
a card and buff with the Art of War, but the hypothermia here is... That's disgusting.
Actually, that kind of worked out for Will because he invested everything in one attack.
Yep.
And so there's minimal value. Whereas if he would have kept the Salt the Wound and like tried to
Yeah.
do that whole chain, he could have got really punished there. So
Yeah.
Good on Will for playing that out that way.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Is any particular reason he did... Oh wait, no. Belittle has natural go again. Never mind. Ignore me. Or I'm dumb.
Yep.
Here comes another Insidious Chill.
Yep. If Will was paying attention, he got flashed a Brain Freeze.
Which means he knows he doesn't have to play around Frostbite, which is super important.
Yep. He also wants to get rid of his zeros. But so double Insidious Chill on the board. I mean, he's set up right now, but he's also down quite a significant amount of life. So, and there's no... Like, Insidious Chill don't do damage, it just takes tempo.
Yeah, I agree with Alex. I'm not a fan of playing it in this type of matchup, but at the same time, if he can do like a back-to-back Ice Vein, that's where you can start running away with the game. But
Fi running red and yellow Belittles actually has a lot of resilience against your disruption.
Yep.
So showing Spreading Flames here. Does the Icelander want to respond? Looks like no.
Is this the second yellow Belittle or the third?
So the Brain Freeze can take away the...
I believe second.
This is the second yellow Belittle.
Ooh, flashing him the
here.
Blizzard too.
So the... So he's... Wait, he's playing Blizzard?
No.
No. He's fusing with... I think Will is... Unless I missed something.
How did he pitch for...
So the Insidious Chill triggers happen before...
Oh, sure, he's paying for the chill. That makes sense.
Okay.
But did he pay for both of them? Did he discard something?
He had 2 floating off the E-Pot and he
Gotcha.
Minnow for the second.
Gotcha.
So currently he has 1 floating.
So that Blizzard could shut the turn down, right, at this point?
He forgot his Tunic, didn't he?
At this point, I don't think you actually play the Blizzard either way, because like you've already shut the turn down.
Oh, look at that!
Yeah.
Look at that!
Although that's
Tiger
a blue
Shark
ice thing.
Chico.
That's...
Blue Ice Fang going away is kind of nice.
Yeah, it's a good card in this situation.
I'm assuming he's got a red one in hand. Yeah, actually the blue snatch is making a comeback, Josh, with the extra belittles in the deck. It's a pretty good target.
Interesting. All right,
yeah.
Here's where we're gonna get all the tempo in the world here.
That's what I was saying. Since he blocked with a blue one, he probably has a red one.
If it's possible, Will could possibly structure the triggers in a way that he could be left with no cards in hand and maybe some resources floating to be able to pick the discard on the Ice Vein at the end. That would be ideal, but probably not possible with AB1.
So, looks like you probably discard a red card, pay 2 for one of the chills, AB1. the Ice Vein, and then pay 2 for the discard trigger on Ice Vein. And then leave yourself with 1 floating for the moon if he does it, which you only had 1 card in hand,
So hopefully here he has a 0 for 4.
that would be excellent.
Ideal.
I believe it's a 1 for 4 if I'm not mistaken, right? Didn't
Remember
when he
your
brain
tunic, please,
freezed?
Will.
Oh well.
Remember your tunic. Oh, that was
Okay. we'll slide it in there. No, they probably communicated that with each other. He was probably like tunic, blaze headlong.
Well, blaze headlong is probably the best thing you can do when you know your opponent has a blizzard in the arsenal. Just gonna leak the damage here.
So Will's in good shape here. He's already made it through 4 Insidious Chill triggers and still has a 13 life lead and is getting 2 for 1 here. So I would say that Will's pretty ahead right now.
Yeah, nice, comfortable 13-point life lead. Which is one of the hardest things to do against Icelander, is actually maintain a significant lead. Walking the life totals down together is one of the worst things you can do against them.
Yep, here's 2 cards for 4 arcane. It's about as efficient as vacuuming your front yard. Gets the job done sometimes, you know?
Unless Will has an abundance of blues here, I can't see him stopping any of this arcane.
No, there's no way you stop. Even if you do I mean, I think you like keep it just because. Isn't that blizzard still on the loose? Isn't that what's in the arsenal?
Yeah, I believe you're correct.
Yeah, so even if he had double blue here, I think you still just hang on to it to make sure that nothing happens.
Right.
That blizzard's worth 3 on the opponent's turn.
Yep.
We haven't seen any new Dynasty cards yet in this match, right?
Nope.
No, I remember what I was talking about before I disconnected. I don't think Dynasty affects any of these decks at the moment.
Yeah, these in specific, I believe, are kind of, I don't think they really get too much value out of Dynasty. But if somebody on the KayFabe or somebody on our team is playing, per se, Dash or something like that, then we'll probably see some new cards. But the Kano that I played in round 1 had about 8 different new cards in his deck. I was having to read a lot of cards.
That's your specialty though, right?
What, reading cards?
Yes.
Yeah.
Unlike the other commentator here. Right?
He doesn't like to read cards.
I hate reading cards.
Roll Tide.
It's the worst. That's right.
Just tell me what it does.
I just play 0 for 4, so that's all I do.
Yep.
True.
Numbers are easy to read.
So, did Majin take the 3 damage off the Spreading Flames? I'm assuming he did, since I didn't see a block. Will has the second blue,
Double
so
blues here.
yeah, very, very good for the Blizzard.
Very, very strong hand here. Of note, we haven't actually seen him use his like other than like one of the early turns. Slam ability.
Well, you're about to see it here.
Yep.
Well, it's hard to do it when you're paying 2 Insidious Trill triggers.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But this is a good little turn right here.
Yeah, through a Blizzard, this is fantastic.
That's coming in and hot for
2.
2 from spreading. Does he have a little card to finish?
Little something, something.
Oh my god. Alex, that video you sent was the best.
2 go again. 1 go again. 2 go again. 3 go again.
I'm not gonna ruin it for anybody, but the end is just.
That was a good video.
On hit draw. Very nice. Are we gonna see a cornet peak plus a block here?
There's a very decent chance because he's not. If he's cornet peaking on his turn, he's losing the game. So the value of the effect is pretty much 0 right here.
And because Will is not running Snapdragons, there's no way for him to max punish here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Any card that he draws in his deck, though, is basically good.
Yes.
Like, literally, there's not a single card in his deck. Like, even if you draw
Ooh.
an
Oh, he's going to give him Tunic. Oh.
And a Channel Lake Frigid.
Okay.
I don't know why you wouldn't just give the Cornet Peak there, but okay. Like, it seems like the Tunic would be more useful for the Storm Striders, right? Than the... I don't know.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Seems like Majin's... Oh, the Snatch. Look at that.
I don't know.
I think here you just give him the 4 armor, right? Just say, forget Mask.
Probably.
You don't want to give up any tempo with when Icelander's off of an arsenal. Like, unless he just has a doo-doo hand, then, you know.
Yep.
Also, is there, I mean, like Josh was saying, like Coronet Peak plus Snatch block on the Snatch full covers it, and then you get to Arsenal a Channel Lake Frigid for his 4-card hand.
I would pick that, especially because like Will's already went through like 6 blues.
Right.
So like his blue count ratio at the top of his deck is probably on the lower side, so you can like catch him real good with a channel. Probably.
Right, and also Will still has all his armor, so like the Snatch isn't too much of a threat.
Yep.
And you're gonna leave yourself without an arsenal. I don't know how I feel about that play.
Yep.
I would have favored the channel, but
yeah.
To each his own.
No, but like I said, Majin knows this deck inside and out. He's played very well throughout the the other league, and
in terms of 1-card hands, like Red Snatch is like way up there. Like it's indirectly very defensive as well, because it's like cutting even a single card from Fi's hand often reduces his damage output by a tremendous amount.
Yeah, but when he's got 4 armor sitting on the board, maybe not.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking as well.
I don't know about that.
That definitely doesn't seem right.
If he rips a blue ice off.
I mean, he could have put a Channel Lake or something busted in Arsenal. Like that's a really risky play, given him. I mean, his hand must be great for him to not block there.
And it's only a 4-card hand here. It's not a 5-card hand. So it's like a 4-card hand into an Icelander with Insidious Chill, especially with the Insidious Chill on the board. Like,
yeah. I don't know about this, but he must have like Tunic counter into Belittle or Tunic counter into Art of War or something. I don't know.
Like Flame Call Awakening as an opener is just not good enough.
Nope.
That is not good enough.
I'm curious to see what the rest of his hand is here, so we can dissect that play.
Yep.
And to see how punishing this Arsenal from Icelander is going to be.
My prediction is he's going to block with 2 cards this turn, and then Wounded Bull from Arsenal.
Some attack is very likely, because we haven't seen too many of them yet, right?
Well, he's blocking with the Ice Vein, right? So that's already like scary.
This 8-point life lead feels a little.
It's diminishing now.
Yeah.
Majin's really
thinking. See like how big of a pouncing links. Like it's basically who gets more value, the wizard's boots or the ninja's headpiece. So that's what it's going to come down to here.
Once the chills are gone, it very well could be Mask. He's got to get through that last one.
Right. Ooh, taking some damage here. Uh-oh.
Oh.
That hand is gas.
E-strike here, right?
Yep.
If the Fi moves the Phoenix Flame into his hand instead of putting it on the combat shade, it's E-strike.
Yeah. Well, also fun to note there, you don't actually have to tell your opponent that you put the Phoenix Flame on the bottom. When you have 2 cards in hand, he should have shuffled his hand and then put the card secretly on the bottom, so Majin doesn't know the last card in his hand. But he can assume, but
that you put.
Yeah, knowledge is power, though. Not knowledge is power.
I guess there is some of it an advantage of showing it because now you're saying, look, I promise you,
I mean,
this card is better than Phoenix
yeah,
Phoenix.
that's like that's disrespectful.
It's like it's probably a snatch or a lava verse, you know, like.
Ooh.
He's not letting this hit because he's worried about or he is gonna let it hit. Oh, so do we trigger mask? Oh, let's go.
Well, it depends. Did he give this lightning strike go again? Which I'm assuming he did.
He did.
Yoink!
Oh, that's too good.
Oh!
That's too good.
And then he's got Flipper's mask here for this too. If he
He's gonna go reach and get another one. Oh, that's too good.
Icelander's in trouble here.
Yep, that does not trigger Shuko, unfortunately. So we trigger what?
Oh, whoa, oh,
Whoa!
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 Wait a second.
We gotta use our flippy floppies.
Oh, come on. Let's get flippy flopping.
That would have been devastating there.
Yeah, would have won the game.
Yeah.
Why didn't we flippy flops?
We better use the armor then if we're not using flippy floppies. Come on now. Use the armor wheel. You might not get a shot. Oh, Lord.
I bet that's another big red attack. Big dumb red attack in his arsenal.
That's a wounded bull, I already told you.
Yep.
That's a good start.
That's a good one. That's also a good card.
Is it possible that he's looking at Mask and being like, no, I gotta grab
Oh!
wound.
This round's on me from the arsenal. Hello.
I like that play. I wish Briar could do it.
Yep. That's a good one. You got a creepers. That's the only way you can do it.
Yeah. But he does give him a card.
I am. I'm still mad about the flip flops.
Draw your card, Will. What you doing?
Wait, hold on. Did he not go get the?
He's supposed to get a minnow and draw a card from this round's on me.
Hold on. Did he not draw a card?
He drew a card first, and now he's going to tutor the minnowism. He just happened to draw a.
Okay.
I think he drew a. Yeah.
What?
This rounds on me was before the belittle trigger resolved.
In that case, wouldn't you want to let the belittle trigger resolve first and then play the this rounds on me so that you give him the opportunity to draw the card that he wants to search? But I mean, I guess he hasn't shuffled yet, probably, so it's probably still in the bottom of his deck. But
yep. All I know is I'm confused.
Well, he drew a card from this rounds on me and then went and searched, so he got the right number of cards, right?
But he showed a minnow and put it into his hand and then went and got one. I think.
No, he showed a Ronin Renegade. It's still on the board.
No, he showed it above his.
He showed a blue.
Oh.
Yes.
Yep.
Like,
now,
I think he has two minnows in his hand. I don't know why.
Gotcha.
Hey.
I believe so as well. Well, when the opponent is blocking with red giant attacks, that's good.
Yes.
Okay, here.
And this round's on me doesn't affect the sword, right?
Hopefully, we're gonna have some redemption here.
Yeah.
Lavaverse.
Please.
Lavaverse into something.
He took.
Come on, Will.
Hold on. Did he just take 2 from that? Does that affect the sword too?
It does. It's all attacks.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, that's great.
It's pretty good. Pretty good. Another belittle.
Only got 2 draconics. You still got 1 floating.
Pop the mask, Will. What are you doing? God. Okay. That'll be. Oh, it's not base attacks. That sucks. Shuko would not trigger if it drops 2 because it has to be base. So the Phoenix Flame would have went in for 0. All right, block with your armor, Will. We've trained for this.
I mean,
At least give him Shuko.
You know how I talk about opponent tendencies. In the longer the match goes, he's already shown that he has no proclivity to using his armor for this. Like this is something that you like. I think Majin knows that he's not going to block with his armor.
Well, I guess here he already has a card that he wants to
Yeah.
put in Arsenal, so it's like it's actually not the worst. But
Yeah, it's not exactly the same situation.
I would give him at least Shuko to save the health. Maybe keep Mask if I knew I could play it next turn to close it out.
Yeah, there's not many chances where you're actually gonna have the.
Will, wrong armor.
Yep, that was the wrong armor. Yes.
But okay, we'll see. I guess he's got another blue. Okay, all right.
Well, we knew he had the other minnow, right? So like that's the one you knew he had. And I'm assuming the Phoenix Flame is in the arsenal, and we don't know the other card in hand, right?
Correct. That
Okay.
It
Correct.
feels like there is a Ice Eternal in Majin's arsenal.
That would be pretty disgusting.
Based on how he blocked 2 turns ago. I mean, that whatever that arsenal card is more valuable than
Ice Eternal's not
85.
good here.
He doesn't have frost hexes, so.
No,
Yeah.
sorry. It's okay. Never mind. That's also a good card too.
That is a good card.
That's not too bad. It's not too bad. Because it's like pseudo. It's like
Channel Lake Bridge.
it's like Quell before
Mhm.
Quell existed. You know.
Yeah, sure.
Yep.
3 arcane. Gonna prevent 1, take 2, go to 14. He draw his card, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, he drew his card.
Yeah, because he blocked with a card.
Yep. Spreading Flames, is he taking 2?
Yeah, I think if he would have Tide Flippers into Mask on that Lava Burst, I think that would have been game.
It had to have been, right? Like, because that was 6 extra damage, and he would have saved how much, whatever damage that Fighting Spirit did back to him. Because the Fighting Spirit gained him a life, and did damage. Like that was gross. Do you have another blue in hand?
Of course not.
Is this the second or third Blizzard?
Second, I believe.
What you got? Pitch 2 reds?
Pitching 2 red doesn't do anything.
Was the only way to get around that Frostbite Blizzard if you don't got a blue. So he's just not gonna pay for it, I guess. He's gonna block 3. Now he's in the danger zone.
Yep.
Where Majin's got the ability to throw some 0-cost red attack at him, arsenal something good, and then Storm Strider's next turn.
Well,
if he gets him low enough.
It gets even worse because now you know 2 cards in Will's hand are red, and he could not draw a blue.
Oh, dodged an attack. That's good.
So if one of those 2 top cards is not blue, then this is going to be rough.
I don't know. I think the Arsenal's a blue Ice Vein. Oh.
Got him.
Got the blue.
Alright. He does have the blue.
3 go again. No, this round's on me this time. A blue Ice Vein from Arsenal would be absolutely disgusting here. Although he probably wants to save that for his turn, right? So if
he wants to strip the hand and then blast him on his turn.
Yep. Ooh, the Blaze Hedgehog is really, really good here.
Yep.
Blaze Hedgehog.
Yep.
This is gonna probably leak the damage here.
Call this the 420 card, and hits for 4, blocks for 2, costs 0. Down to 3.
You better pop that mask, Will. God.
Nobody needs to pop that card. Oh my gosh, it's just sitting there.
It's to get a blue, like guaranteed sword swing. Like, get that shit out of there.
Does he have another flame in the bin?
I'm wondering, does he just not see the line because he's so used to using the equipment in a very particular way?
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's what I'm almost like. People are like, he might not even realize that that is a possibility to do.
Oh, here's the
Like,
bull.
oh, you really need a blue. Use the map to go get a blue. Like, I didn't think about that, even though I'm not a 5 player. But like, it's possible he'd ever even thought of that line.
Well, if he's not going to use it, he needs to block for 4 with his armor here, and then hit him with a 5-card hand to end the game. Because if he blocks for if he blocks for 4, he'll only take 4 down to 10. I don't think there's any card in Majin's deck that can do 10 damage arcane with the Striders.
Well, what's gonna happen is he's gonna have to Striders anything in his hand that has Ice Fusion, just to strip the hand with Insidious Chills. Like, that's the only way he's gonna be able to survive the turn.
Right.
So he's gonna have to use his Storm Striders defensively.
He's drawing single cards, hoping he can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he has to.
Oh, that's a rough one.
Oh.
And he gets the blue. Okay.
And he knows he's out of blizzards, so that's something.
Does he even have any more blue minimalisms?
They're all in the deck. Yeah.
Okay.
They just recycle over and over. That's why they just play one a lot of times.
Yep. 10 health, I think, is just barely out of kill range here.
Yeah.
And maybe 1 as well.
Well, Red Ice Vein plus Waning Moon is just 8 damage. I think 8's pretty much the most they can do without an arsenal. As long as they're not like on the Frost Hex plan and everything.
I think he's thinking about whether he wants to stride. Oh, see, actually, no, he just loses here because he doesn't have Tunic counter because he gave it up a little too early, and so it's going to be a double pitch, have a card to fuse, and then fuse. That's 1 card in hand, which he'll have to block the Belittle, and then the Ronin will kill him if he doesn't get every single card. Because even a Sword Swing puts him to 1 with no cards and no Striders. So, like, I don't think there's any way. I don't think there's any way here.
Did somebody mention tutoring a blue card to swing sword? Somebody in our chat saying something about that. Because that does not work.
No.
What do you mean?
Mask tutors to banish.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I missed that, or I would have corrected you. Yeah. We're just tutoring hard damage. That's all we're doing.
Yep. There's a reason why I haven't seen that, huh?
Mask.
Still know that it should have been on the Lava Burst. That's 100%.
Yeah, it should have been Flippy's Lava Burst. Flippy's Lava Burst would have been good there. So the fact that Majin's taking this long to decide what to do is a good thing for Will. That means the line is not obvious. Especially when you're playing against somebody that's a veteran of a class. If they take a long time to decide on something, it's probably a situation they haven't been in before.
Right. Alright, let's see what we got here. 1 cost card. Is this an Aether Hail just to put a Frostbite on the board and hope for the best?
And Hypothermia is not a...
No, it can't be Aether Hail. It has to be a fuse card. Yeah, it has to be a fuse card.
Okay. Brain Freeze. Oh, he was paying 1 for the Striders. Duh.
Yeah.
Brain Freeze. Fuse with Frosting.
Fuse it with the Frosting. Double Insidious trigger here.
So you can pay for 1, discard a card with the other. He still has to block with that, so he's got 2 cards in his hand that block. I think.
Oh, get wrecked.
God.
Wow.
So banish.
That's good, because that's basically 1 free Insidious trigger, and so he can actually just double. No, he should double discard here. And then
oh
just
my Lanta.
Just win the game. Just win the game.
Oh jeez.
He said, "I'll take that."
He still has to. Okay, so he can pay for all of it there.
Yep.
But I don't think that's correct unless that's not a 0 cost, because then that gets put on top. So he should have just discarded. See, that's what I meant when he should have floated the 2.
Oh, the Brain Freeze goes on. It puts that card on top. So it puts the
Yeah.
last card on top.
But if there's an attack in Arsenal, that's game because that keeps him
He
off an
takes
Arsenal.
1, and
Nope,
he didn't
not.
have an attack. Oh, okay. Well, the Striders are gone, so
He knows Frosting's in the arsenal as well.
yeah.
So there's not a lot of arcane damage coming. It's just
He has to have a turn where he strips his entire hand, though. Getting 2 points of damage across should not be that difficult, but if he has the extra resources here, he needs to pay. All right, we're blocking there. I'm assuming we're gonna pitch a blue swing sword. Get one more card out of hand. All he needs to do is attack him 2 more times with 3 cards. Okay, yeah, that's a great card to follow up with. Because that means the next one's lethal, and then any of his other 2 cards can finish the game.
Yep. That should close it because he can have a 0 for 4 here to just end it.
That's
1 for 4.
yeah, 1 for 4 is fine too. Yep. Good game, good game.
Yeah.
A lot of interesting things I'm not used to seeing in this matchup here. All right, so that concludes game 2. Card Guys take game 2. We are now up 2-0. That was a great game, very, very close down at the end. It looked like it shouldn't have been that close, but maybe we can get Will in here to go over a couple of his decisions that he made. We'll see if he's up for it. Oh, there he is. Nice, good win, Will. GG. We need to ask you about a couple of things. Okay.
Well, I'll admit, I think there was some places I could
Okay.
have taken Mask of the Pound.
Okay, all right. As long as you recognize that, that was one of our biggest questions. There was a turn when you hit him with a big old lava burst, and we were like, all right, here comes the pouncing lynx, and then you just didn't do it and got hit in the face with a Finals Fighting Spirit, so that was rough.
Yeah, that was actually the main place where I thought about using it. I don't know why I felt like I wanted to save it for the perfect moment, but you know what it did do? It blocked for 2.
It could have attacked. It could have attacked for 6, but it blocked for 2. But anyways, that was a good game. We were kind of intrigued by the Insidious chills. Are you having played against Icelanders with fire? Are they usually putting Insidious chill in the game against you, or is that something abnormal?
I think he might have been a little bit abnormal. At the same time, though, I mean, it can totally screw up your turn if they just slam a fuse at you at the wrong time. But
Absolutely.
No, I think it might have been slightly abnormal, though, because I haven't ran into that too much in testing.
All right. Well, are there any particular plays during that game you want to go over? Like any particular swing moments in the game?
There was a turn where I finished with a snatch, and he was telling me how he was doing the math in his head, and he's like, the only thing I'm scared of here is a red snatch, and it's what I had. And I was telling him if he had let the Phoenix Flame hit it, because he used his Ironhide gauntlets to stop it, I was considering grabbing, breaking the Mask of the Pouncing Lynx to grab Yellow Brand to have the snatch come in for 5. Ultimately, I think that's just a little silly, probably not worth it, but we were both laughing about that in the game.
Yeah. Well,
no, all in all, I think it was a pretty standard match. It's just, he even said it at the end of the match, like, Belittle's a good card. Like, I run 3 yellow Belittles for the Icelander matchup. It helps you get through all the frostbites.
Yep. Yeah, you had 2 blues thanks to that Belittle on a really key turn where he blizzarded you, and you were able to push through. It's always good to be able to push through on those turns. He had a turn where he decided to block with a Channel Lake Frigid, I believe it was, and
that was my snatch.
And keep a snatch and throw a snatch at you.
Yeah, I was talking to him about that. I thought the snatches were an interesting inclusion.
Yeah.
I suppose it's just something you don't want to block, and if he gets an arsenal off of it, then goody for him. I thought it was all right.
Yeah. Yeah, the snatches were interesting. We enjoyed seeing that. The next match here, I believe, is going to be Nom versus Flake. If you guys aren't familiar, Nom is one of the card guys. He is the Dallas Calling Fort Worth champion, and Flake is one of the main commentators for the game. So this should be a really, really fun one. I have no idea what Flake is playing, but I believe Nom is on Oldhim, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure why they're not clearing up the board. I promoted both of them. Let me...
Nom is not promoted, it looks like.
Oh, I promoted the wrong person.
You promoted me.
I promoted you.
You're gonna give me.
I promoted the wrong person. There you go.
There's not that many Asians.
All right.
Alex had one job.
You had one job. Oh man. Well. All right, let's see if we can get this match going.
All right, I'm gonna let you guys take over the commentation for this one. I'm gonna go grab a quick bite to eat. I'm gonna make sure it gets underway first, but I'm gonna mute myself and
Sure.
All right, so Josh and
All
Nathan.
good.
Yep.
Speaking of Josh and Nathan, I talked with Terry about the Hong Kong Nationals, so that's
Yep. You mean Battle Hardened.
yeah, Hong Kong Battle Hardened. So Saturday they're running it at a location that's going to be live. Sunday they're gonna Terry and Jack are gonna see if they can just record the VODs for that one because so renting event space in Hong Kong is super expensive, right? So the Super Armory and the Sunday PTI event are going to be held at the LGS. Whereas the Saturday is the Battle Hardened that's going to be hosted at a location, right? So
Did they want us for the Battle Hardened or not?
yeah, we're welcome to commentate on that. That will be live. The Sunday one is going to be VODs, though, probably.
Okay, sure.
Ooh, we got a dash. A dishy dash.
No dash.
I hope Nam can crush this dash. That would be wonderful.
Yeah, that means I can
It would take weight off our shoulders, that's for sure.
I can mess around on my Kano deck.
Yeah.
Anyways, the Hong Kong Battle Hardened is coming up this weekend actually, so that's gonna be this is gonna be the first like big event that did not like the other one was what Battle Hardened Philadelphia, right? That was
Yep.
like 2 days after the set released. Like
Right,
nobody knew what
right.
they were doing, right? So I think the Sunday PTI event there'll be a decent amount of eyes on that, even though that will be probably casted through VODs. Yeah. All right, so Oldhim versus Dash. This is a matchup where originally we were like, oh, the Stalagmite just blocks shields forever, or blocks pistols forever, right? But we quickly realized that if you did that, you were just not putting any pressure on Dash, and you're still leaking a couple damage. And so
playing to lose, not playing to win.
Yeah. So even though, you know, it's cool to get your Stalagmite to block for 4, but you know it's
Rampart
to block for 4, but that's not really a winning strategy. So I expect Nom to kind of know. Nom has probably played this matchup, 24 times at least. So he should know what he's doing. So the ways for Oldhim to adapt to that is if Dash becomes more prevalent in the meta, which we're seeing Dash become more prevalent in the meta, you can run Smashing Good Time because you're a deck that runs Pummel as well. So you're very likely to get your attack actions to hit with that on-hit effect. What is another way that Oldhim could just
it's
go
just
for a
maintaining
more wide aggro?
Yeah, so if I know Reinforce the Line is like the new hotness in Dash to counter the Heart of Ice, because that was the big problem. If you weren't on the tree frog dash plan, is what they're calling it, like the life gain and all that stuff, which is like a free win versus Oldhim. But if you're doing like regular Exodia dash, well, I guess Exodia now you have to specify like purifiers, not the mech. Like with all those D reacts, Heart of Ice actually ruined it because you would activate Heart of Ice, then throw your attack out, and then now they have to pitch for all their Fate for Scenes, which means those are cards that were used to establish your board state. So now you have to take more damage to do so. So this match is actually not as free as it used to be with the induction of Heart of Ice. Let me tell Nam that we are ready. They're asking.
Okay.
So I guess the big question is when they flip over the equipment is does Nam have Heart of Ice, and that's gonna kind of dictate the pace of the game and like what his strategy is going to be. And then Flake has to really adapt to that. And I love. Okay, so we have no Heart of Ice. Okay, so he's just basically going super aggro. Is basically the plan.
How does Heart of Ice interact with dash? Isn't it an action that Oldhim has to activate on his own turn?
Am I missing something, or does dash not have an item?
Heart of Ice. Dash does not have an item. You're right. This is not Teleshar, my friend. Where is your item? All right. I mean, he already. Okay, there we go. He's like, wait a second.
There you go. There you go. he's like, wait a second. Okay. So, anyway, you were saying Heart of Ice doesn't work on what?
I was just wondering, like, how does that interact with dash, given that Heart of Ice is an action, so you have to use it on your own turn.
Yes, but it has go again. So you activate Heart of Ice, and then you throw you like a glacial, right? And what that does is it makes it where
messes up their defense.
Yeah, if they play an unmovable, that is now a 2-card investment.
Yeah.
And you can't even I don't even think you can you can't even tunic around it, I don't think, because you would have to pay an extra to activate tunic, I believe. So
sure. I think the idea of having CNC with tunic on 3, pitch a blue is like, I think Nam just likes that too much. So I think that's why he went with tunic.
For sure. So I think now the game plan is just super aggro if you don't have the Heart of Ice.
Yep. All right, load, Spark of Genius, probably for a lot.
Should be getting a purifier here. So.
Okay, so we saw Brutal Assault. That is not a mech card. I'm wondering why is this in the deck actually?
That's a great question, and I do not know the answer.
That is like there's so many blue 3 blocks.
Is this Tree Frog Dash? Is that maybe what this is?
It could be. That probably is what. That's what I would like immediately think just looking at this. Anyways, a very, very good start from Flake, getting a purifier out, turn 0. That's basically as good a start as you get, right? Load, find an item, arsenal a card.
100%.
Is as good as it gets. So if I was Nam, I'd actually like notice the Brutal Assault, and I would like put the dash on a very, very defensive plan here. Terra Sunder is a good card to have.
Hopefully it's on more than just the hammer, though.
Okay, hold on. There's another thing we didn't notice. Ironhide legs instead of Achilles Accelerator. So this definitely is a very defensive dash.
Well, I think they do that into Oldhim anyway, because...
Do they?
I mean, it does represent, at the end of... If you have all your purifiers, it does represent 5 more damage on the action point, so maybe not. This does seem kind of tree froggish. We got to see more cards to kind of confirm that. But if I was a betting man, there's no way that this Terra Sunder is going to hit.
Yep, I agree.
Yep, this is Tree Frog. So because he's got all the life gain cards,
and he has a D-React and Arsenal. What a perfect starting hand there.
Yep.
2 blue, Spark of Genius, and a Sick Blow is chef's kiss. All right, so as Nom, what would you be thinking right now? And how would you adapt your game plan?
Yeah, so the next thought that would go through my head is this just went from a 50-50 to a 90-10.
In whose favor?
Oh, and dashes, like, so far. The problem is, like, you can be... For those of you who don't know, Tree Frog Dash and why that deck works against Guardian, right? Because you're thinking like, oh yeah, how can you make it past all the glacials and all the dominate and everything? The life gain mechanic in this game, in this situation, is effectively the same thing as blocking a dominated attack, but you just shift the block to your turn with the life gain, right? So if you have two cards in hand, and one's a Sigil of Solace and a 3-block, you can block the dominated attack, and then Sigil on your turn or Sigil on that turn, it doesn't matter. So the life gain mechanic is effectively a counter to the dominate mechanic, is the thought process of the deck, and it works very, very well.
Yep.
And the problem is here is if Nom blocks, he loses the game even quicker with anything more than like crowning and rampart is perfectly okay because he's just looking for bigger attacks basically. But like if he starts blocking with cards, it's just over.
All right, loading up the induction chamber and purifier for another round.
And we got another blue.
So,
oh, and another purifier. Okay, so this is
this is bad.
This is a perfect start to be
Yep.
two for 2 on items per turn.
Yep.
And they happen to be the best items in the current situation. And the reason that he prefers Purifier over Induction Chambers currently is because of Rampart.
Yep.
The higher you shoot and the less often you shoot, the less value is extracted from Rampart. So this is very clearly going to be just a 5 going into a hammer, more than likely.
So, what is Tree Frog Dash weak against?
Any aggro deck. Any aggro deck that can't be fatigued. So like Briar, because her damage comes in like burst, right?
High because the damage is just high.
Well, 5 because you have graveyard recursion every single turn, and like things are in like very weird numbers. It's actually
Even
pretty decent into Viscerai, actually, believe it or not.
Is it because you have Arcane Barrier on things, or is it?
Yeah, you have AB and you have a lot of blues. So like the spike damage can be, kind of iffy at times, but at the same time, Viscerai has off turns, and if you leverage life gain during those situations, you can kind of balance out his Mordred turns.
Yep. So Tree Frog Dash is probably like one of the heroes that cares the least about Winter's Wail.
100%.
Yeah. You probably just look at your hand. If you can use all 3, use all 3. If you can use 2, even though you have a frostbite, you just take 1 and then move on with your life.
So I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think with this current, with the way things have gone in this game so far, I would make the argument that Nom's only win con, which may not even be in his deck, is if he runs Smashing Good Time. I don't know if he does or not, but it's unfortunately looking that rough right now. Because like this is it, right? It's gonna be another 8 damage here, and it's just it's crippling once the ball gets rolling, because then it's like, okay, I'll block. Well, then he sets up more items and comes even harder, and it's rough.
Okay, double purifier activation here. I would wish he tapped them to indicate that they've been used, because that can get a little bit confusing from time to time. Even a little 45-degree tap like Numb would be nice.
Shout out to Flake though. Commentators playing the game at the highest level. Love to see it. Love to see it. Yep, so here's the situation where I said, if Nom starts blocking, then it's, it's basically over, pretty much. So he's just going to be getting as much value out of Rampart and Crowning. Maybe he runs Smashing Good Time, but I would be surprised.
I mean, given that I don't think he's played the game since Worlds. I don't think he's updated his list for the metagame.
I don't know. I don't know if he ran it at Worlds. I have no idea.
Yeah.
Oh, so now Flake is 3 for 3 on items in turns. So
I mean, even if you have 3 copies of Smashing Good Time, like, oh man.
Yeah, he did run Bravo, but
Bravo would do better in this situation, right?
Yes and no, because once again, like, you can dominate everything all you want, but like if he just life gains it on his turn, then it's not doing anything.
Yep.
Yeah, Bravo is a better deck into Dash, but Tree Frog Dash specifically is almost an auto loss.
Yeah. And this is where we're seeing it. Like this 8 right here, like he's probably gonna block with 3 cards, Arsenal, and D-React, and like the game has, in that whole rotation on that whole turn cycle, Flake just got a free card, right? Because he did not have an Arsenal going into this turn. He's blocking all the damage Nom's presenting in Arsenal card. So, like, the turn cycle is just a free card. Or he could block it. That's cool. That works too. And still get a turn and load up some items, because why not? Although him pitching or using the unmovable there is probably indicative that he has another D-React. So I could see like a double load and then Arsenal as last card maybe.
Yeah, it becomes very, very obvious when the Dash player has a D-React in Arsenal. That's one of the things that you would kind of pick up as Dory when you played Dory versus Dash, which is a very, very classic matchup, is like you would just know when they had a D-React.
Right.
And then that's, back then we were playing Dauntless, and that's when you would actually play your Dauntless.
Yep, there's a sigil right back up to 40. So
I don't know why you would not play the sigil, but
okay. Yeah, I would Arsenal it.
Yeah, at least like
kind of bait out a CNC, and also don't forget the fact that like with this deck, you kind of want to be under life by a little bit to get all your life gain from your fighting spirits and cards like that.
Pay 1 or get dominate. Probably gonna pay 1 here, right?
Depends on the hand. If he has a big D react, there's no way he pays it.
Yep. Was that from Arsenal? Yeah, I was just about to say you should draw.
Interesting to pitch the. See, I'm not that scared of this because if you're pitching Rouse, right, for
Yeah.
a Polar Blast.
Okay, this is gonna
Oh.
hit now. Uh-oh.
Okay,
Very
so
interesting.
clearly we have a pummel here. That's what's happening. But with no Arsenal, it's like, eh.
With damage, who cares? Hmm. So it has dominate.
Mm-hmm.
Of note, Polar Blast just says next attack. So it could have been the weapon. Could have been a guardian attack. Could have been a generic attack like this. Looks like no blocks here. Yep.
Only the blue one though. So if even unmovable still doesn't
He can't play
Doesn't get
unmovable. It's a
anywhere.
CNC.
Oh, that of course.
Yeah.
I knew that. I was just testing you. You know,
All right, take an 8 here. Discarding a card.
discard a card.
When
Which
you have 4 cards.
now you can't play Oasis. That's that's a fact. So you could have actually. That's interesting. Because why
That doesn't make sense at all. You could have blocked pitch
block 3
Oasis
and then
targeted.
Oasis?
Gain
Yeah.
you wouldn't gain a life, right? Because 8. No, they're the same life.
I
then you
think
could
that
still, like,
straight up
yeah.
tells us that he has an item in his hand. I
Yeah.
think that's what that which would be.
Well, I mean, you could still block pitch Oasis Arsenal the item.
Yep. Here goes. Let me guess. Induction chamber.
Yep.
Oh no.
He loaded the purifier, loaded the induction chamber.
Yeah, but that's only one resource, so he doesn't have an item. Maybe. Does tree fog run?
I
Oh,
mean,
he's just blasting. That's all it is. He's just blasting.
they sometimes run a third purifier, but 2 and 2 is like normal. Some decks run 3 because if they're like if they're gonna boost once in a while,
Mhm.
they might accidentally boost one of the win cons. So yeah. All right, this come in for 4, and then 4, and then 4.
But Rampart will block 1, 2, and 3.
Yep.
Interesting choice to crown because
Now
you
you
could
can't
get
Rampart twice.
yeah, you could get more value out of that Rampart later on. So you're basically
Yep.
saying, okay, so that'll be crown. That he'll get 4 block out of that blue, which is good. But when you're coming in for 12, it's not as good. So basically, what's gonna happen is they're gonna relatively tie up life totals, and we'll be right back to it. But Nom will not be on a 5-card hand with Polar Blast and Arsenal. So he'll have a weaker turn, probably throw a Glacial or a Thunderquake. Flake will block 3 cards probably, and then, pitch a blue, load up some, call it a day.
Yep. So one of the interesting things about having 4 items is that you actually kind of need 2 blues to effectively do things. So that doesn't really happen until you're in the second cycle. So
it really just comes down to you blast him every other turn. Like you save a blue, load some up, and then.
Yep. For newer Dash players, it's not worth to like blast them. So there's a third purifier there.
Woo.
I'm not actually sure if 3. Okay, the third purifier makes sense against Oldhim.
Yeah.
And the third induction chamber makes sense against the other characters. Yep. Okay.
Yep. So
actually, does the third induction chamber? The third induction chamber actually does something because that means he has to have Tunic or another blue to block 4 times with Rampart.
Yeah. Correct. So it's kind of gravy. He's basically fully set up right now. The last induction chamber would just be the cherry on top. And he only had to pay 11 life to get there.
Not a high price.
And 2 armor block. So he's still got his Ironhide for the Oaken Old or whatever, big on hit he's worried about, and not looking pretty.
This is a relatively weak turn here.
Yep. I think last turn I predicted a red Thunderquake, but I mean, blue works too. So easy, what, 3-card block, load up on the blue or Arsenal D react. Or, I mean, it's Tree Frog, so you really want the game to last long. Like, he's probably
Yeah.
tempted right now to take this 8.
Yes, exactly.
But, like, I don't think that goes with the game plan.
Exactly. I agree.
Unless he's Flake could be next level, and he's already done the math and expected how much damage Nam's about to take, and he's trying to get him down to like 22, 23, and then that way next turn all his life gain stuff is still on. So we'll check Flake's math here. Blue Sift, love to see it. Love to see it. Big fan of that card.
Also, in general, if you can run non-attacks, they're generally better than attacks. There's a few, like Arachne, Bolton, they care about attacks. All right, this gun is no longer a pistol. It is a AR. Coming in for 5 here.
It's a Hanabi blaster for sure.
Yep. Basically, yep.
So
Doesn't
if
have
you've ever
outward
wanted,
power, but yeah.
yeah, well, they both shoot for 5. So if you've ever wanted to shoot your Hanabi blaster 5 times or 3 different times for 15, this is the deck for you.
Yep.
So here, Nam is doing it correctly by not Crown of Seizing, because you get a 1, 2, 3, 6 block out of that blue based off of Rampart on 3 shots. Whereas if he would have crowned, it drops it down to 4, but he does get that filter. So basically, this is Nam's only play for the rest of the game, is to pitch 3 resources into Rampart, block 6, and then clap back with 4. And he has to do that every single turn, basically.
Yep. Yep. Basically, take 6, attack back with 4. Take 6, attack back with 4.
Yep.
I think it is interesting, though, that what you said, like, in terms of the tactics, I mean, Flake is doing this correctly. He's, putting counters on everything, attacking, giving it go again, right? But strategically, taking giant chunks of damage to do this every turn may not be correct.
Well, like I said, if he's done the
Yeah.
math and
Yeah.
he puts Nam to like 23 or 24, then it actually probably is
Yes.
correct, because you gotta imagine he's running what, 6 Fighting Spirits, Heart of Findel, all these cards that are just crappy 2 blocks if you are at equal or higher life.
Yes.
So getting the extra
Yeah.
value out of those is
that-
probably correct, especially because he's already so far ahead. He can afford to speed the game up a little bit and put the pressure on Nam.
Right. I guess there's also the possibility of, Hanabi blastering 2-3 times and then ending your turn with Fendel's Fighting Spirit.
Oh,
Might
that's
be okay.
gross. Yeah, that'd be pretty decent.
Yep.
But I think you wouldn't waste a blue on that. I think you would just load up, right? Probably a little bit better.
Yeah.
It's only 2 more damage, and you probably block with the Fighting Spirit.
Ice
We
React.
got our first Ice React. Okay. I don't hate it. I mean, it means that he's got a crappy turn coming up, but
I mean, yeah.
It's probably just a spinal or a frostbite. Yeah. Well, okay. So tunic
So-
counter here. That's definitely a pummel in Arsenal. So
Yep.
Flake has to play around that.
Another thing is that it might actually make more sense to like load everything, dump your whole hand. Make sure you do not have a hand for Ice React, or
Correct.
partially
Yeah,
dump your hand, keep 2 cards, attack a bit, and then suddenly dump your hand.
I think you just load everything up like as soon as you can. Yep.
And
So
here comes the badunk.
oh, here comes an unmovable. Is what? Yeah. See.
Yep, 9 against 9 here.
He knew what was happening, and now the damage cycle was Nom no longer has an arsenal, and Flake is gonna pitch a blue and probably put 3 counters on and pass turn, and nothing changed except
You
Flake
know
got
what?
more counters on his item.
There, as a warrior player, I don't actually know if I agree with how Nom played that pummel. You attack with Frostfang for 5. They block for 2. You just say, "All right, go take 3."
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
That's what you're supposed to do, right?
100%.
When somebody underblocks my supremacy turn, I'm like, no reactions. Okay, sick below. Now I have reprise. Now I'm gonna get you.
'Cause
Right?
it's not like he held the extra card. He had tunic to use pummel, so he just carries that over to the next turn, which is
Yes.
perfectly
Yeah.
okay. So
There's
I agree.
no reason for him to have blocked like that if he didn't have an unmovable. And you're kind of just playing into it, like, yeah.
Yeah, this is an act of desperation. 5, obviously, there's no world in which this connects. So
Another D-react.
healing bomb. Yep. Wow, the disrespect. That's all you got into Oldhim.
That is disrespect.
All right, so we probably got what, 2 or 3 blues easy, or maybe 2 blues and a D-react. So he's gonna do some shooting here, and Nom's gonna pitch a blue, block 6 damage, and we're gonna be in the exact same situation in the cycle, except Nom's gonna be missing about 8 life.
Yep. I like loading here before attacking.
And for those of you who don't know, with the dash or with the item mechanic, you can actually like keep
Overpitch.
loading. You can overpitch and like keep loading even though it doesn't need a steam counter. If you did, obviously in this situation it doesn't make sense because you would just load back up your purifiers. But if you're ever in that situation, you can overpitch to get that card.
Do you notice here? He got ice reacted once, and now he's like, "Oh, I learned a lesson."
Yep.
This is why oftentimes when you see your opponent making a misplay and you can punish them, it might be better to not punish them immediately. If you kind of pick up that they're a quick learner, you just let that mistake happen until it comes around again and you can punish them even more.
All right, Josh. If I lose my game next, it's all on you.
Josh is the anchor. That's nothing new.
It's not like I'm trying to lose, but you know,
Nah,
that's the situation if it is.
I wanna mess around on my deck.
All right, like I said, pitching the
So-
blue, getting 6 block out of it, and then got a 4-card hand.
So of note, Nom is now below dash in life. So
Yeah.
below in life and below in board.
It's
Not
just,
good.
yeah, it's bad all around. Like, I don't think if he could clear 2 smashing good times here, I still don't think he would win. Because he's still got all that armor. Like the smashing good time has to actually hit. If he runs it, I don't know. I don't know if he does. If he does run Smashing Good Time, it's about 30 cards too late.
That's a good card, but it is just damage.
That's
Doesn't
it.
even have dominate.
Yep. So this is yeah, just an easy situation because
Block 6, load.
yeah, I mean, like there's no on hit. I mean, there's a situation like I wouldn't hate blocking with 2 cards, taking 4,
Mhm.
and then just load up with 2 blues like that.
Yep.
I don't hate it.
I don't agree with using the armor here. This makes you vulnerable to.
Is that a blue fighting spirit? No, it's
That's
yellow.
a yellow fighting. That makes you vulnerable to Terra Sunder and Okanold if there's an Okanold. But I mean, Nom's life is so low, he's probably not going to get to Okanold.
Yeah, he got set up so fast that this will be one of the first Dash Oldhim games that didn't go to second cycle for Oldhim, which is just
Mhm.
insane. All right, we're gonna have to start calling Flake Britta because he's got all the purifiers. He is killing it. I think it was what 4 turns in a row that he just went item, 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 including the very first turn 0, and then shortly after that he dropped the last purifier. So great start from Blake so far. Other than the one time where he got caught naked outside with the ice react. I think that's the only spot where like it was like he definitely could have played it better. But other than that, I think Flake's played it just about perfect.
Yep, I agree.
Even when he took all that damage and like the first initial thought is like, whoa, I want to slow the game down. But I kind of saw what he was trying to do and realized that he was ahead and did the math and is trying to keep the life totals relatively close so he gets to extract more value out of his deck. Fully understand it.
This is a matchup where you have to see like 4 or 5 turns ahead. And I think both players right now know that the Dash has won this. They're kind of just going through the motions here.
Yep.
I mean,
And-
there's a possibility you draw like 8 reds in a row or something. Like,
Well, this is the last turn. I think Nam is able to, depending on the math. Yeah, this is the last turn where he'll be able to just put 1 card into Rampart and clap back with 4.
Mhm.
So okay, hold him with embodiments of lightning. Why not?
Called his buddy Briar.
Yeah. So after this turn, Nam's gonna be in that situation where he has to go Rampart, block a card, Rampart again, block a card, and then that's just when the so
The game
we
falls
got
apart from there.
yeah, we got about 3 or 4 more turns left in the game, and I think that'll be it.
Mm-hmm. Crater Fist usage. This is about the right time because you need to make sure you get 2 uses out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Even though there's no on hits you really need to stop, you just have to make sure that you. I mean, actually, you could get it on the same turn. What am I talking about? You can get. It's very.
Yeah, I get Stash breaking the chain.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I was like, block with Brave Forge Racers, go back. Block with Brave Forge Racers, come back.
Yeah, I think his plan here is probably to pitch another card to keep paying into Rampart and probably pay into the Ironhide legs, if I had to guess. I wouldn't hate it. Or just wait for Tunic counter on next turn, but maybe he's trying to do a CNC Tunic pummel on his turn. Yep. Does he want to add the Ironhide?
Probably not.
The reason that, like, the knee-jerk reaction that you do is like you want to pitch another card because you want to get the 3 block out of the Rampart one more
Yeah.
time. And if you do that, you have just 2 floating just sitting there. So,
That's true.
and that all of that was because he crowned. So yeah, there
Okay.
it is. Because he's got to get
Okay.
that value.
So he'll have 3 cards and Tunic on 3, so he could still do that, you know, pitch a blue
Yeah, it could be a
CNC
tunic.
pummel. Yep. The only thing that's making me hesitate here is that Flake has not used the last card in his hand.
Could be a
Decent
D react, because he
yeah.
did just block with his armor, so maybe it's just him
Yep.
trying to
So-
secure that for the next next dominate
Mm.
attack.
CNC?
Look at that. It's like we know what we're talking about. Tell you what. Tunic on 3, Oldhim playing a CNC. We know what that last card is. So with an arsenal, there's like a very good chance that you just like lay your whole hand down here if you're
Yep.
if you're
I
Flake.
agree.
Unless you have Oasis Respite or
Yep.
something fancy like that.
Nope. Doesn't want to put payload down? Does want to put payload down.
You gotta block more than that, boss. Come on now. Don't get greedy, Flake. Oh, does he have the
Ooh.
double? The double Oasis? Oh, he got caught. Okay. So the
That could
pummel's
be
gonna
a-
hurt. Oh, he didn't
Yep.
have the pummel. Oh, that could have hurt.
Yep. So what's that
Oh, no.
last card in hand?
It's got to be a D react, right?
It's got to be a red D react, right? Yeah.
And if it is, he just passes probably.
Do you?
Versus loading 1. A yellow D react.
Yeah,
Okay.
It's Springboard Somersault.
Yeah.
You probably load here.
I would pitch that one. Yeah, that one's not too good coming from the hand. So I mean, that's pretty good exchange for Nom, but it's still just like that. That proves that like there's a D react in Arsenal, so he's safe from any dominate. So we're just back in. Nom has tempo, but like even if he has a okay, so he's trying to take full advantage of the tempo by looking for that 5th card. Maybe get a Rouse the Ancients, or a Zealous Belting Off to kind of really apply that pressure, because this is his last chance. If he leaves Flake with 2 cards on this turn and still at a relatively high life total,
He's a dead duck.
yeah, he's just gonna take too much damage. So. Because that pistol's going to come in for what? 5, 3 times 15. He's at 4 life. Rampart blocks 6. He could get 1 more turn, staying at 4 if he used the armor. So if it's just 1 big attack here, it's not good for Nom. And that's what it's looking like. That's one of the better ones, because it's a time walk.
Yeah.
That's the way you look at that. So, and Channel Lake Frigid is actually a very good card. I want to see Nom hold that Channel Lake Frigid and not put it in Arsenal to get the chance to play it, because it's very crippling for Dash.
Yep.
Because every time you load something, it's 2 cards, and so this Endless Winter is a time walk. When he plays that Channel Lake Frigid, it will be a time walk essentially, and then that'll give Nom some time to find some type of really big threat.
Yep.
I loved the presentation of the pummel on that CNC last turn. Like, even if he doesn't have it, you still have to think about it.
Yeah.
Yep. For sure.
So I really want to see him keep that channel in hand. Really want it, because that way, if you put it in Arsenal, it's like, oh, if I don't draw gas, I have to crown it away, and I'm not a fan of taking that risk.
Okay, he might have messed up here, because blocking the D react, if you have another D react in hand, means you have to pitch for this D react here. Is he just gonna take the damage? He might just take the damage here.
But that means every time you activate an ability, which is loading, you make a
Yeah.
frostbite. So
Yeah, he.
okay, he's
You
playing
have
the
to
one
read
Arsenal.
Endless Winter very, very carefully here.
Okay.
I mean, this is going to cost the card though. So
Yeah. Oh, okay. It wasn't. I mean, it is a waste. It's 2 resources wasted,
it's
but
getting a frostbite back now. Yeah. Okay. I mean, he could still get pummeled here. Nope. Okay.
I think even if you have pummel, you yeah, you probably do. Did you see if he put the channel link in his hand or did he put it in
It's in his hands right now.
Good, good. I love that.
He gets a new frostbite to replace the old one here.
No, because it didn't hit. So
Yeah, Endless Winter did
it
not
was
hit.
it was full.
Oh,
lock,
gotcha,
so,
gotcha, gotcha.
So he's just gonna load up a little bit. Might take a shot or two. Who knows?
He's the only reason to pause here is that he has a D react in hand. He doesn't want to get it ice reacted. That's why he's pausing here.
Well, if he has a D react in hand, it's very straightforward. You just load the other induction chamber in your arsenal.
He only has 1 float. Yep. I thought he had more float here.
I think he has another blue, and he's thinking about whether he needs to like shoot or not, kind of situation, and like how to shoot.
Okay,
yeah.
Yeah.
Because like that's one of the hardest parts about math is you need to know like mathematically if I have exactly 1 resource in this board,
Yeah,
like
he can
left
shoot.
over, like you need to know what to do.
Yeah, he has enough resources to shoot.
He missed his,
he shot
tunic.
before purifiers. Uh-oh. No, okay, he recognized it. Okay.
Yep.
Coming in for 5.
So as long as this doesn't get
load,
Blizzard.
React, load. Yep.
Blizzard is huge here though, if Nom can
Yes.
can swing that.
He's just missing all the things.
Blizzard should be after the induction chamber reaction though.
Yep. Okay. Pitching that channel leg that I valued so highly, unless he has sick. All right, this is his last chance to do the old 1-card Rampart play. After this turn, it'll be pitch a blue, Rampart 1 card, just Rampart on the last, leaking 4 damage in total. 5 damage in total. So if Nom goes at 5 or lower, it's really bad because he can only hammer for the rest of the game. If my math checks up. Two blocks not good. All right, Nom, it's your last 3-card hand. Enjoy it. So Crown is pretty much useless right now because you can't afford to use it anymore. So this is probably definitely a 5 go again, maybe into a hammer.
Yep, most likely.
But even then, I mean, the reason you can't use Crown here is because you need to effectively, Nom from now on is going to have to pitch a blue into Rampart 3 times and then block 2 cards on the first 2 shots. Or 1 card on each of the first 2 shots, which is a total of 3 cards. And if he wants to activate Crown, that's a 4th card, and that's his entire hand.
Yep.
So now Nom is caught in a cycle where he can basically only well, at least Flake has to spend an entire turn loading up. So that's a positive. I love that Flake is like not just going straight across the board and doing something that may not be um, quite efficient. Most people would just like, oh, I'll start left and go right, you know. Whereas, you know, the reason you want to load up in that order is in the event to where like if there's ever a situation where you know you have to put enough pressure on Nam to get some of his cards, but you're not like fully loaded up. You obviously don't want to just shoot once for 5.
Mhm.
But that doesn't apply here because he has the double blue. So I actually really do like using tunic count, or I mean, okay,
Looks like he's gonna use the last floating tunic shoot.
yeah, I like
This is
it
gonna be
because
4-4-4.
yeah, it's gonna get enough cards.
It's gonna deal 3 and then 2.
No, it's gonna be
And then
Rampart,
1.
1 card, Rampart. He'll take 3.
Yep. Wait, he
Or
can
he
can
crowned.
crown here. He can use crown here,
Yeah.
and he'll drop to 2 or 1, I think.
No,
something
he
after that.
shouldn't. He shouldn't crown here because now it's a whole nother card to get 3 block out of Rampart,
Yeah,
right?
probably.
Because he's still shooting 3 times because he has tunic, right?
Yep.
I don't know if Nam sees that. Yep. So now because he crowned, he can't block with Rampart for 3 and only take 1. So
I mean, it's still blocked for 2.
that's true. So maybe
And the
Maybe
crown
crown
makes
was right
it
there.
indirectly blocking for 3.
yeah. There's 8.
That
It's
is
A play, but it ain't
very,
the
very
play.
inefficient. Playing a 4-cost card as Guardian is always feels bad unless you have double blue and a pummel or a tunic. Eight on hit, get a frostbite on activations.
All right, I will be right back. 1 second.
Sure.
I am
So
actually
blocking
back.
4. So this is going to be a sink below or a fate foreseen. Yep, there you go.
This is not looking good for Nom, huh?
No, it's not.
Kind of assumed that with the tree frog dash.
That is typical from this version of Dash, though, so not too shocking.
Getting him to 15 life, though, is... I mean, that's not always easy to do.
Yeah,
Especially...
I was just on the phone with Bob, and he was very impressed. He was like, "I thought Nam was going to have a much tougher time." And he's having a tough time, but he's okay out there.
Yeah. Has he had any, like, relevant pummels this game or anything like that?
No.
He threatened to pummel on a Command and Conquer that was pretty interesting, but it wasn't a pummel, it was just a threat.
Makes sense. Yeah, the pummels early, forcing like either really inefficient plays or making the dash player misplay and like getting a plasma purifier out of the hand with a pummel or something is about the only way you can overcome this match, unless you just have constant like zealous belting, rouse, dominate this, dominate that, pummel this every turn basically.
I am back.
Welcome back.
What Discord are we using to communicate with the people we're playing?
You're going to the actual league channel.
Gotcha.
FAB Foundry one.
If I was Nom here, I'd think the writing was on the wall.
I thought it was on the wall 5 turns ago, but yeah. Not looking good. He had that one turn where he could have done a little something when he got caught with all the D-Racks on the CNC, but other than that.
Dash playing Remembrance too. That's kind of salt in the wound.
Is the only reason to run that in case your items get blown up by Smashing Good Time, right?
I think.
Yes.
I think.
Or just
yeah,
only
more
reason.
runway.
Right. I think it's more so like Dash only really ends up losing this match if the Oldhim really high rolls, and that usually ends up with him using most of his resources, and so you just have to block out until you get down to a very minimal deck, and maybe the Remembrance is a way to put some of that deck back to give yourself a chance. I'm not sure. Flake showing him, well, this is how I'm going to win the game. Those yellow fighting spirits have been hurting him more than helping him.
Well, that's because he hasn't been blocking a whole lot. He got set up so early that he's been on the. He really hasn't done any life gain.
Right.
Not for real. So I think that's why. And Nam hasn't really had any like good rouse turns or anything like that. So.
Yeah, you basically have to have those to have a chance.
Can't he ice react here? And that stops the whole attack?
Potentially, yeah.
Oh, hopefully he has another ice card.
Not just potentially, it literally does.
Mm-hmm.
Please, Nam, see it. See the ice react.
I'm assuming he's gonna block and then.
Oh,
ice
yep,
react.
he's got one. He's got one locked and loaded. Ice react.
This is why you wanted to pitch your yellow, yellow, then blue, floating 2.
Well, you could go ahead and like load the purifiers, or load something.
No ice
You-
react.
what I'm saying is you can't float the resources for the pistol.
Right.
Oh,
But
wait,
you always
no,
have something to pitch to in this deck, so like you can just go ahead and like if it's a blue, like you just go
Yeah.
ahead and pitch it, load a couple of the purifiers, and have the pistol shots ready to go.
Ice react here actually doesn't do anything because he kind of baited him because Nam's on blocking duty anyway. So like, if he ice reacts, he still has to block with a card there, so it still leaves him with 1 no matter what.
At this point, I think the only way that Nam can even get back into the game is if he is able to play a hypothermia, save a hand hypothermia, and try to attack back with something relevant. But even it's just he's got too much life.
I think the only way that Nam gets back in this game is if Flake gets like called into work or something and has to immediately leave. I think that's
Let's call him into the booth.
that's Nam's only out. Is Flake's gotta go.
Flake's computer crashes.
Well, I mean that's pretty good for Nam, actually.
Yeah, Mr. TTS is a bit hard for Dash, especially just because there's so much movement of dice and cards. It's a great resource for testing, but for something like this, you get sucked into all this movement of things, and it just takes way longer than it should.
Yep, and this should close it out.
Yeah, if I was Nam here, I would take
It's
this.
another situation where ice react blocks for 5.
If I was Nam, I would take this 3 damage. Put me out of my misery. I bet Flake's hand's getting tired with his mouse going all over the place.
The old hammer swing. Ye old hammer swing. Oh, is that a channel? Oh.
Does he have an ice card for it?
Oh.
Ouch. I mean, at this point, like, you just arsenal the channel like Frigid and keep, unless that card, well, no, because he would play a hypothermia if he had it. I keep thinking Icelander, but I don't know what you could be putting in the arsenal here. Channel like Frigid feels pretty important to like try to get back into the game if that's your game plan.
Not even bothering turning.
I know.
You know what this is.
Yeah, you know what this is. That's why I like actually using the little tokens for dash.
Yep.
You just put something on them.
Oh, he got the all blue, so he's set up for next turn too if he needs.
He's walking into Ice React again.
Yeah, I'm not
Yes.
sure.
This blocks for 10 now. Come on, Ice React that last card.
Oh, he pitched the ice
What is
card.
going on?
Nom, wake up!
Wake up!
Literally blocking 10 here.
I mean, it doesn't matter. He's still. Oh. Oh no.
Of course it matters. Your
Oh, I'm-
opponent makes mistakes again and again and again and again. That's how you get back in the game.
Yep. Well, like even if he ice reacted there, it's still just hammer arsenal, and we're back to like the
This is
same.
the same
situation.
thing.
But yes,
At
it is
least,
still.
at least show your teammates that you,
Right,
that you see the
right.
line.
Right.
Show us you see the line that blocks 10.
Blocking for 10 with one card is pretty good.
I heard that is good.
Yep.
I heard that's better than a stalagmite against Viscerai. Uh-oh, there goes the pummel. Down to 1. And... Well...
How's it?
Hello, Bobblehead. Pretty clever name. Bobblehead spelled like crack bubble. There's
Oh,
the-
hypo you're talking about? Look at that.
Okay.
Now he's just gonna fight it. Red fighting spirit him. Oh god. Please do it, Flick. Just for the meme.
Hit that 7 breakpoint while he's at 1 life too.
Get his ass. Get his ass.
Load, pitch a blue, fighting spirit, arsenal. Sad.
Oh,
This doesn't seem
Alright.
right.
I mean, he's still got to present 5. Like he doesn't want to.
Well,
He's
yeah,
gotta
yeah.
get cards, yeah.
If he doesn't have an attack in hand, then that's correct.
Yeah.
payload attacks for 4, which is basically the same thing.
Correct. There's no difference between. Well, he doesn't have crown, so 4 and 5 is different. 5 is guaranteed 2 cards.
And 4 is not while he's at 1 life.
Well, if he had crown, he would be able to cycle and still do.
He doesn't have crown.
Yeah, I'm saying because he doesn't have crown, there's no difference.
Yeah. Hypothermia is a little too late.
Either that or Flake brought his Ugg boots.
Oh no. That might be another sigil in hand. Or an arsenal.
What if Flake is like toying with him? He's like, no, I'm just gonna life gain my way back up to 40, then take you out.
Either that or he's like intentionally trying to deck him out.
I mean, Flake's got more cards in his deck than Nom.
This should be game, right? No arsenal, 3 pistol shots, good game.
Oh, there's Channel 8 Frigid, so that's gonna get hella expensive.
Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Everything costs 1.
Yeah.
Taking the counter off, loading
Taking
it back.
5 resources, loading
Everything.
them is, yeah, there's no way.
He should just Fighting Spirit here, but you know. See, you play
King
the
of blue to
set.
activate it.
Well, I mean, to load, he needs what, like 2 resources for each load? Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, and to take it off is the
Yeah.
so like every time he takes the counter off, that's another resource. So
So it's 3 to shoot each time, right?
correct.
He can still present 10.
If he has 2 blues, yep. If he doesn't,
I'm sure has a lot of 2 blocks in his deck, so.
yep. Even if he only has 1 more blue left, like it's still probably good enough.
Rampart doesn't exactly help you here. Oh, Earth React. Yep, that works. Pitching a 3 block though, so. Assuming
let me
the
get
rest of
this
his cards are
straight.
3.
Nom will Earth React to block 2 damage, but he won't Ice React to block 10. Tell you what.
Like I said in the first game, like I think people are used to doing certain patterns that they may not be even used to like seeing these lines. Whereas like we're outsiders looking at a deck that we don't play, so all
Right.
the possibilities we kind of like look at this, look at this, look at this. Whereas he's like, yeah, this is what I do with my deck, you know.
Yeah, I think there's a lot to be
Autopilot.
said for like autopiloting like that. Like,
Yes.
Will actually brought up a point with the FI deck the other day where people were searching for blue belittle off of the Mask of Momentum or the Mask of Pouncing Lings, which is something that not many people would think of, right? Because you're just so used to just going and grabbing, you know, Lava Burst or whatever to like finish the chain link, that you don't think that you can actually use it as a versatile card too.
I will admit though, there's also like because Flesh and Blood has some matches that are just like oh so polarizing.
Right.
I think there's also the fact that like you sit down and you know like you're a 10 to 90 underdog, you know, and like so
Mhm.
you kind of like everybody does it to some level, you know, the really strong players do it a lot less, but like a lot of people have the tendency to like check out a little bit, you know?
Yeah.
Maybe not play it to 100% just out of, you know, some of it's frustration, you know, it's a bad matchup. There's nothing, you know, it can feel like completely out of your hands at times.
Oh, I completely understand. I'm assuming Nam is in that situation right now where he sat down and he saw Dash, and the second you see something like a blue brutal assault or something on your opponent's board,
Right.
you're like, okay, that's what we're doing. So like you just kind of check out at that point, I'm sure. What's up, Justin? Yeah, Armada, looks like Flake's got this one locked up.
Yep, and this should be last turn actually. Matter of fact.
Yeah, I don't think he can stop 10 more damage. Yep. Pop, pop. Pop, pop, pop. Negative. Good game, good game. Alright, so Flake wins that one. That's one for the other team. KayFabe Cards takes their first win of the series. Card guys are up 2-1 now. We need one more win to lock it up. I believe, Nathan, you're up next, correct?
Yes, sir.
And who are you playing against?
I don't know his name, sorry.
Oh, okay, no worries.
We can
So
look it up.
we'll get it when he gets in here. So we got Nathan up next, and then Josh will be the closer. And hopefully we don't need the last match to get the series. But so many talented players on this roster. Like, I mean, No matches,
Playing-
easy.
I'm playing against Andy Truong, I think that's how you say his last name.
Okay, Andy
And I'm
Trong.
playing against BZ.
Easy, all right.
All right. So
All right, all right, all right. Well,
All right,
I'm
so I'm
going
gonna.
to go ahead and
go ahead and hop
wait
in.
for Nam to get up, and then I'm gonna go over to the other Discord.
Yeah,
So I
sounds
will
good.
see you guys for Josh's game, the last one.
See you on the other
Yep,
side.
And I will go take a little break. I will
right.
see you guys later.
All right, Josh, take it easy.
Bye bye.
All right, I'm gonna take this one over. If Will decides he wants to come in and commentate, he's more than welcome to. Like I said, guys, we have 2 more matches. So Nathan will be playing the 4th match here. Josh will be playing the last match. He's gonna go take a break before his last match. We'll get to see both of these matches in their entirety. Let's see what heroes have been played so far. So KayFabe has played Icelander, Dash, and Kano, so they can pretty much have anything else on the list of decks that they can play. In the league here, we're only playing, all 5 players have to choose a different hero on each roster to try to add some diversity. I don't believe we saw any of the new Dynasty cards in this deck. The only deck that I've seen Dynasty cards being played in, I believe, was the Kano deck I played against. We are, like, the divisions are pretty random, I think, for this first real season of the FAB League. We're in Division 6, if that matters, so if you wanted to, like, look through it and see who all's in there. YTTS instead of Talishar, it's much easier for streaming and content purposes. I can host a lobby, everybody can just kind of come through and join, and we can get a full stream for you guys. Talishar is a great resource for playing, but I believe the league prefers that we use Tabletop Simulator. Blake repping it for the casters, absolutely. Congratulations to him for that win. That was a good game. In a sense, he had a really strong start. Let's see, you gotta promote. Promote both of them there. Yeah, his start was really insane.
All right.
What up?
Look, are we still live? I'm sure
Yes,
we are.
yes, we are.
I tried my best.
You
know,
did.
I had already built. So I knew he was playing Dash before going in, right? But I didn't want to build a deck just to beat him.
Mhm.
You know, I built a deck to kind of beat the field, and
As you should.
I had already taken out like Heart of Ice, and I've already taken out like my Zealous Beltings and stuff. So it made that matchup much weaker than
Yep.
what I did before for Worlds.
Right.
And I mean, the hypothermias really did not come in at a great time. It came in really early. But like they're for like second cycle anyways. And then my pummels did not want to line up correctly. Like I had so many good pummel opportunities, and they weren't there. They were missing in action.
Yeah, I didn't catch the whole match, but I did see quite a bit of like the really important parts, and it just looks like you just weren't able to resolve like your, Rouse the Ancients and your pummels all like the correct times, and the things that absolutely have to go right for you to even stand a chance against Tree Frog Dash. And then also towards the end there, I know you were probably on autopilot and you knew that the writing was on the wall, but there was a couple opportunities that Flake gave you to ice react his hand for maximum punishment.
Yeah, so I saw some of those. Like, there was a couple where I wanted him to Arsenal. Like, I had a CNC. I was like, all right, well, because last time I got a good ice react in towards the beginning of the game.
Right.
But unfortunately, he had the red unmovable for a perfect block, or
Right.
yeah, a perfect block, or whatever it was. I can't remember. I'm like, oh well, even at the end, it was he
Yeah.
assembled Exodia
Oh,
so
we
quick.
we were laughing at them. We were like, "Oh no!"
One spark of genius. I'm like, oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah, yep.
You're natural. He's only been playing the deck for like 2 days.
Yeah. I mean, block, assemble Exodia. Like, but I kind of felt bad for him that he had to play on TTS for it, though, because, you know, there's just so many actions that he has to take, and it gets pretty annoying.
We were keeping each other accountable. There was one turn where, like, we didn't know if he tunicked or not. I'm not sure if y'all caught him missing.
I'm not sure if they did or not.
But, yeah, we were keeping, like, there was a couple where he, like, technically missed his induction. I'm like, all right, I know you're gonna try to induction here.
Right.
So, like, I reminded him.
Yeah.
And we were just keeping it, keep it even field, and since he's new on the deck, he played fine. I thought he played well.
Yeah, it looks like he was making pretty much all the right plays. He managed to like deal 10 damage through your channel like Frigid, things like that are.
Give him another week. He's gonna be zooming with those hands.
Oh, yeah. I was thinking his hands probably cramping after all these like bing 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 ding ding ding, just like removing counters and everything.
He's going the extra mile and doing the aerial pinging and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh man, I actually can't commentate with you, but hopefully, did Josh dip out for a little bit?
Yeah, he dipped out for this one. He's gonna come back for his match after this one. He needed to take a break.
All right, man. If anybody wants to hop in here,
I think Justin actually wants to hop in and commentate, so I might drag him in.
Yeah. Let's do that. He's gonna bring some color.
Yeah. What up?
Hey, cutie.
What up?
What's up?
I can't stick around, but y'all have fun in here.
All right. Have a good night, Nom.
Yeah.
Bye now.
Later, guys.
All right. So Justin's going to join me in the booth here to help commentate this match. We have got Briar versus FAB. The card guys are on Briar. Team KayFabe is on FAB. This matchup is usually a pretty fast, aggressive one. We're going to see some Channel Mount Heroics probably from the Briar side and some Art of Wars from the FAB side. Whoever hits their power cards first is usually a favorite in the match. I believe Nathan has copies of This Round's on Me in the deck, which could be pretty impactful, so we'll see how that goes.
I think the last time I played against Nathan with an aggro deck, he had This Round's on Me.
Yeah.
It wasn't particularly fun to see it get played against me.
Let's see. Justin, do you wanna tell the people who you are?
Hi everybody, I'm Justin. Anyone from Georgia should know who I am. For the rest of you, I am the Kano player who likes to terrorize the card guys.
Yes, he is, absolutely.
Specifically, I like to terrorize Alex because I always get paired into him.
Yep. The gem gods like to pair us into each other.
I mean, I was always fine with it.
Yeah. Wait until we get paired into each other, and the gem gods still keep doing it while I have the good matchup side of the table.
Who are you on right now?
I'm playing Icelander at the moment, but
that's fine. That matchup isn't as good as you want to think it is right now.
Into Kano?
Yeah.
No, I would think Kano's actually probably favored.
I've played it a few times with a new list, and I think I've lost once to like some really awkward hands and then some really nice spice from my opponent.
Well, it looks like Nathan was able to resolve a This Round's on Me on turn 0, which is pretty good, and still get an arsenal and push a point of damage. So that's always solid. This Round's on Me especially shines on turn 0 because it basically eliminates the card draw for your opponent.
That's fair. I was about to say, is that right? But then I was thinking, yeah, he doesn't get to.
Yep, he'll end up with a 4-card hand. Yep, it is all value.
Awful. Did he put the tiger, or not the tiger, the Phoenix Flame in his actual graveyard? Did he not move it to the side for ease of access?
I have no earthly idea. I'm sure we'll find out soon enough.
That's fair. I really hope he didn't just like completely forget to pull it out.
Yeah, that wouldn't be good.
I mean, it would be for Nathan.
It would be an advantage, but that's not something we're trying to take advantage of here.
Oh yeah, I don't want it to happen. At least he had the Art of War to balance out this round's on me.
Yeah, a good old net even.
And then you see Spreading Flames come next, and you're like, wait a second.
Let's see, the double strike would come in for 1 with the buff and minus, right? Yeah, just stays even at the 1. Yep. What I think is interesting is that the Art of War doesn't affect the sword, but that this round's on me affects the swords. The sword still gets a -2 or -1. That's pretty funny.
Hilarious.
This brand with Cinder's Claw is going to come in for a whopping 2. One thing to note is the 5 players playing Mask of Momentum instead of Pouncing Links. I think that's what they play in this matchup pretty typically, but...
I think it's better in this matchup because it forces some blocks where blocks weren't forced before. What color is that? I can't tell. Is that
Which one?
the brand with Cinderclaw?
It's a yellow, so it came in for 2.
Yeah. The interesting part here is that the second double strike will also come in for 2. It's not a 1 attack. It should trigger the Shuko, the gloves.
Right. Unless Shuko reads weird, I believe it does not. Second attack, 2 or less base power, has +1. Okay.
Yeah.
There's your Phoenix Flame. So we didn't forget the Phoenix Flame. But if you'll notice here, Nathan went ahead and blocked with his armor on turn 1, which means that there's almost for sure a Channel Lake, a Channel Mount Heroic coming.
If he plays Channel Lake Frigid,
the game would be over. Shuko triggered on Brand. Oh, that's right, because of the first. Yep, that makes sense. Double strike into the Brand. Toma Harvest. Okay. Let's see if he has the channel to go with it. Toma Harvest channel is fantastic because it creates that embodiment of lightning and still gives you a pretty big hand to work with.
You're like 5 seconds faster than me.
Oh, I need to get you into the actual lobby so that you can watch it in real time. That's what I need to do.
Okay, I'm over here like, you said Toma Harvest. I was like, how the fuck are you doing this? I was like, what?
Yeah, let me send you the deets.
I appreciate that. That means I have to actually go join the lobby. But I still have Talent Charge.
Do you have TTS on your computer still?
I should. I can't imagine I actually uninstalled it for any reason. Yeah, I still have it. Well, he didn't have a Channel Rock Heroic, but that's a pretty good turn there.
I just sent you the details on Facebook if you want to join the lobby. Yeah, this is a pretty monstrous turn for no Channel Mount Heroic. So we have 4 off the Scar, 7 off the Exude. Let's go again. Sword. So that's what, 11? That's 15 damage. Getting 2 block out of the furnace here. So that's still a pretty close life total, to be honest.
Was there any reason to block with the furnace here? Like, can you like?
No, it's more of like the game goes so fast that really the 2 block versus the 1 block on the furnace isn't that relevant. It like the 1 usually hits the breakpoints that you need to hit, so you just want to make sure you get full value out of the furnace as the match goes. And if you think you're about to do a bunch of damage, then you just want to go ahead and get that block out of it.
Yeah, I don't think he has any on hits. Not any like relevant ones that can be stopped off of a 2 block.
Yeah, it's usually not too relevant, and he has Mask and Shuko if he gets into like a bind where he needs to actually block for more.
Blocking with Mask is always one of those things where like every time I played against the ninja player, as soon as Mask left the field, I was like, neat.
Yep. Yeah, that's a good one. You'll still find yourself like blocking the 3rd attack or like wanting to block the 3rd attack. Now this is a big old Blaze Headlong here. I believe this one's coming in for 7.
Oh, he played the Rising.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
I missed the rise from the ashes, and I was logging in. I was like, did he just attack with a Blaze Headlong, no go again, with 3 cards in hand and an arsenal?
No, he's just actually playing properly and putting the non-attack in the graveyard.
Yeah, I was so confused. I was like, what happened here? I don't like Double Strike is the 3rd attack here.
The brand with Cinderclaw?
Oh, that's a brand with Cinderclaw. I'm just blind.
Well, see, the reason he did it is what you see now.
Yeah, the ancestral empowerment.
When you attack with 1 and you know your opponent has a 1-block armor, the incentive is like very high to just block with the armor, and you know you're going to get the draw off. So here comes 1 for 3. 3 go again. A pretty standard thing Fi does. 1 go again, 4 go again, 3 go again, 3 go.
Yeah, the sad part is like he's already at 15 on the chain on damage, like
Yeah.
16. Like he's
This one I believe comes in for 2 with Shuko. But Nathan took the damage, so if he didn't have the channel before, he's probably got it now.
that Phoenix Flame was put in his hand from the
Rise.
Yeah. So what's interesting here, and I've done this a few times with Vi, if he would have attacked with the Phoenix Flame instead of the Brandwood Cinderclaw, he could have done the same play with the Ancestral, and then he could have closed chain to put Phoenix Flame back in graveyard, made the same 2 attacks, and activated Fi to get another 1 damage. Because he didn't use Fi to put the Phoenix Flame in his hand, right? He got it with the
I believe so. I believe so, but I'm not sure if he actually ended up putting it. I'm not sure if he ended up playing it twice that turn. I don't think he did.
I only saw him play it once, so like, because you have to play it at the right spot in the chain to get it there.
Yeah.
But his 3rd attack happened to be a 1 attack anyway, which is what Phoenix Flame is.
Right.
Unless Phoenix Flame, no, I know I didn't. I'm dumb. Phoenix Flame isn't a ninja attack.
Oh yeah, he wouldn't have been able to.
Yeah,
exactly. Looks like we might be getting a Snapdragon Scalers on this snatch here. Welcome to the booth, Will. Welcome.
Oh, he's running the AB1. You know, I have come to the conclusion that I don't think that's correct, but we'll see how it goes.
Against Briar?
Yeah.
I gave up on blocking AB from Briar with anyone that doesn't just have it on their equipment a long time ago. I was like, this just makes me want to block bad things, and like I feel like it loses me damage or block value across the game.
I think it's more of a save your ass card, where you get towards that end game and you kind of like have that like stalemate with like the you take damage, I take damage, and if your Briar opponent can get you low enough and just block and make a rune chain and kill you, then it kind of puts you in an awkward situation.
I'm not a disciplined enough player to see Arcane Barrier on my side of the field and see Arcane Damage coming at me the entire game and not use it. Even though I know it's probably wrong to use it at times, I'm just like, I don't wanna.
And this is pretty funny here. Snatch, snap into snatch.
Nice.
Will, he's saying that the yellow brand was buffed by Shuko.
Yeah.
It was because it's base power, not total power.
Correct.
Another snatch. Anyway. Oh, Nathan, you stud.
Will, if you want to join the actual TTS lobby, you can watch it in real time.
Oh yeah, I'll do that.
Oh yeah, if I can. Alex, excuse me, I'm sorry about that. Alex over here calling out cards that haven't appered on my screen yet in the beginning. He's like, oh, it was Tome of Harvest. I was like, I still don't see a Tome of Harvest, dude. I will say, the Arcane Barrier that he is using, the one, is almost the same as just because doesn't he normally run Snappies in that spot?
Yeah.
And I can't really think of like many cards in the deck that doesn't have Go Again. That's not like Salt the Wound, which you'd use your Snapdragons on anyway. And Tide Flippers still touch those.
Yep, Tide Flippers is there mostly for Lava Burst, Salt the Wound, and Blue Snatch if you play it.
So like you're not losing out a whole lot on not having to. Did he just block with this rounds on me?
Yeah, for 4.
Ooh, lovely.
That is the power of 3-block blue cards. Briar has a way of making them block for more.
Hey, at least it's not like in the olden days where that
Yeah.
that sounds on me blocked for 8.
Yeah. Oh, I'll block your Crippling Crush with 1 card.
I didn't see any problem with that.
Nathan's actually in an okay spot here. It just depends on how the cards are coming. I don't like that he's blocking though.
Yeah, the problem is he just doesn't have tempo. He's gonna have to find a way to squeak some tempo back in his favor here.
Yeah.
He's getting very fortunate that his opponent doesn't have very powerful arsenal cards.
I mean, that could be what he's going for here. Is like,
Ooh, blue brand. Interesting.
it could be he's
Ooh.
setting up for what's it called? Tantamount Heroic. And then he just has to live a round of attacks to have tempo back.
So if he's running blue brand, then he isn't fully on the Rakowski package. Very interesting.
Lightning Search from Arsenal here is very, very, very helpful with
A
tempo.
wonderful way to start the turn, absolutely.
This is what he needs to get back into the game. Nice. All right. I don't think
He
he's
doesn't have Razor Reflex, does he?
well. He couldn't. Yeah, I don't think he plays Reflex, but I think he's playing Press. I'm just not entirely sure.
I played against like the ninja players have scarred me. I see a tunic on one and a snatch coming in. I was like, he has a card in hand. It's Razor Reflex every time.
So here's an interesting spot. Nathan actually set himself up for success here. He can get the 1 card blocks for here, and then he can Crown of Providence whatever is going to trigger Mask potentially, and have a 4 card hand while his opponent's at 11 to threaten lethal and get tempo back. But it looks like he's
Swarming?
It's just a solid block 3. So Nathan does have his Briar list usually. I'm not sure if at this moment he does, built to block very well. Where he's okay trading a couple of cards, so he's blocking for 7 with 2 cards, which is above rate, and then coming back at his opponent with 3 cards, threatening potentially lethal.
That's fair. It just feels so strange. Why the second attack in the chain, or the first attack in the chain? That's the first one.
Well, the Mounting Anger has an on-hit effect, and so blocking it for 4 and preventing the on-hit effect could potentially block 5 damage.
I get mounting. I was more or less confused about the weapon, unless he doesn't have a way to give swarming go again.
Well, he probably has another 3 block in hand, which did he end up blocking with another swarming?
No, he only blocked with the 1.
Okay, so because he only has 1 card in hand, so he had to have blocked with 3 cards.
Yeah, the second card he blocked with was an E-Strike. Or the third, he blocked with E-Strike.
Oh, he blocked with an E-Strike on the 3rd chain link. Okay, so that makes sense then, because he had another 3 blocks. So he's trying to get full value out of his block. So now you'll see he's got his opponent 4 life less than where they started for the other turn cycle, the last turn cycle, and now he just has to basically dodge. He's got 14 life, 3 blocks, so like his opponent has to do 17 or 18 damage to actually threaten lethal. And so if he's able to keep his hand here, then he's actually in a hugely beneficial spot. So now he'll get his 5 card hand. He stops the 2nd chain link, which I'm still not sure why he's stopping the 2nd chain link there. The Rising Resentment actually has an on-hit effect, doesn't it? Yeah. So that one actually is important.
An on-hit effect, plus it was a 2 attack, so the equipment claim blocked it.
Right. Yep. That makes sense. I forgot about the on-hit. Yeah.
But, you know.
So we got 3 more coming in here. That would put him to 8. He's still got 2 cards in hand, no resources floating. Yeah, I agree with the block with Command and Conquer. This is going to allow him to... Almost certainly he's not going to be able to get the last... Well, I don't know. This is interesting. He's just going to take this damage almost for sure. And then he's going to try to figure out what his opponent's doing with the last card, Snatch. That's a rough one.
Well, so the thing is here, Snatch can't be give and go again, right?
Oh, why did you block that for 5? Well, the channel was full blocking. The channel was. Oh wait, no. He had Spreading Flames. He had Spreading Flames. Or does that only affect Draconic cards?
That only affects Draconic cards. Wait, was the last card before it a Cinderclaw?
Might have been. Can't remember. Yeah,
the
yellow brand, because he let the yellow brand hit, didn't he?
Yeah.
And then so he made it draconic, and then yeah, okay. Or actually, it doesn't even need to hit to make it draconic. Yeah, so that makes more sense. Yeah, you're correct.
He did just reveal a blue off his Ravenous Ravel though.
That hurts.
So my big question is here is why block the why block that at all? Because it doesn't have go again, and Tide Flippers can't give it go again.
You know,
If you don't block that here, like you can play the Chanamount Heroic Nimblism, attack with go again, and then attack with sword.
did he
and
have
like-
an Earth Blue?
You don't have to keep it around. Who cares?
Well, did he have any blue?
I don't know what the second card he blocked with was. I just saw the Chanamount Heroic and something.
He blocked with CMH, Command and Conquer, and this round, or no, that was last turn. I need to keep
I don't
up a
know
little
what the
better.
card other than Chanamount Heroic was.
So he was able to keep a whole hand here?
I think he blocked with that attack on the chain.
Yeah, pretty sure was blocking, right?
I know he moved the helmet up there.
Oh, he was determining what. Okay, so he blocked with the mask too. Okay. So we're gonna
Is
go.
that another cutting plan?
Yeah, if he has a 0-cost attack in hand, this could pose a problem. I'm gonna assume that he does.
I will say that it's nice to see that the 5-player hasn't made the mistake of attacking with Emberclaw as the third hit because it doesn't actually trigger mask.
Yep.
And like it's just such a common thing I see with new ninja players, like forgetting that mask says attack, third attack to hit, or third attack action to hit, not third attack.
Right. I learned that one the hard way back in the day with Ira. I think that's one of the reasons when new players pick up this game, I always recommend the Ira starter deck because it was designed for new players, right? Like it is like the pinnacle of like this will teach you the game perfectly. It has defense reactions, it has attack reactions, it has attacks, and then as you build into it, you can add cards like Mask of Momentum and things.
Was it making it 7 at the start of this turn?
6, I believe.
Okay, that's just me missing something there then. I don't know. I was making sure. The weird part about Spreading Flames here is the only card it's going to buff is the Phoenix Flame.
Correct.
Not buffing but Phoenix Flame, and that's...
And here's the benefit of Tide Flippers. Because he now just doesn't just immediately die to like...
That's true, to
a sword swing, you know.
Yeah. Which I mean, with this hand, he can't trigger sword.
With a 2-card hand, this is a really good one to have. If he has another 0 for 4 in hand, let's see. If the ninja player doesn't have the 3 blocks, then if he has another 0 for 4, this is gonna rip 2 more cards out of his hand. And then Nathan's in a very good spot.
I mean, if it's a blue, it also rips 2 cards because you get to make a
rune chant and sword swing. Yeah, so it doesn't really matter what it is, I think.
Actually, yeah, I thought. Well, I mean, it could be like a red, not 0 cost, and then he can't use it. He just has to come in with sword, which pulls in 1 card, which is almost as good.
Ooh. Yeah.
It was a blue.
Yep. Does the same thing.
Which the sword still requires 1 card.
Yep. So he's gonna get him down to 1 card, and he'll have a full hand. This is very, very good. And he's still got Tunic just in case his opponent's able to keep a 0 for 4 so that he can keep a 3-card hand.
I think you take the Arcane, that way you can come in with a attack back.
You have to. Like, there's if you don't get a card out of Nathan's hand, the game is over.
Yeah. At least this way, if he has his own 0 for 4, then like it forces probably a Tunic plus a card.
Yep. So here's the 0 for 4. This is Tunic plus block 3, assuming that he got a block 3.
Yeah, if Nathan drew poorly, he just gets a block 2. But at this point in time, like, nope, he got it. And that's not where you want to be as 5.
No.
This has been a good game.
As long as Nathan can present 2 attacks, the game should... Okay, yeah. So the sword swing is just game over.
Like, the attack doesn't matter anymore. Unless he has, like, Oasis Respite for some odd reason. Because that'd be, like, really bad here.
I think that's his only way out, right?
But yeah, because Oasis Respite blocks 4 on the weapon, which is kind of hilarious.
And that should be good game.
I like that he hasn't.
Yeah.
In his hand.
He's like looking at his hand and figuring out how to block him, which makes me think he has something.
If he has the Oasis fight, I'm gonna feel bad for saying it.
Well, if he has the Oasis, then he's still gonna only have one card in hand, and he'll be back in the same situation. So
This is true, but like you're just waiting for Nathan to draw poorly. Like as soon as Nathan, because now he can't clean block with
Yep.
equipment.
yep,
He didn't have
game's
it.
over. Good game, good game. That was a really, really, really close one. Nathan did a really good job figuring out how to get tempo back there at the end and
I
blocking
want
what
to
he
figure out
needed to
what
block.
that other card he blocked with Channel Mount Heroic.
It was a yellow rabble that he blocked with the Channel Mat Heroic, if that's
Okay,
what
so
you're.
the yellow there.
Yeah.
That's sad. Okay, that makes more sense then.
Wow, it was a really intense game. Well played, Nathan. Well played. That was a
Congrats.
tough one. That was a tough one.
That was not well played. I missed a damage and could have won that much more
Where
comfortably.
did you miss a damage?
So I went Nimblism, that turn where I went too wide, I went Tome of Harvest into Scar,
Yep.
into Nimblism.
Yep.
So I should have made the rune chant. The reason I didn't at the end, obviously I played Briar, enough Briar to realize, duh, you make a rune chant, swing sword with the blue.
Right.
The reason I didn't in that instance and just swung sword was I did not want to break the chain because Exude was denying that's all you got if he had it.
Mhm.
I should have broke the chain after the Scar.
Yeah.
And then
And make the
made
rune chant and then
yeah,
Nimblism
yes.
into the Exude. Yeah.
That's what I should have done, and
That's
I did not
one
do that.
misstep.
Well,
But-
one life, as you see, is the difference maker in this match. So.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, and then just being able to so obviously it was not ideal because I didn't get one single Channel Mount Heroic. Well, I got one, but I obviously had to block with it. And then I had a really good start with the that's all you got, but it just then got countered by the turn 1 Art of War. So
Yes. But I mean,
so-
countered is a harsh word. I mean, you got an Ardewar out for almost no value, so that's pretty good.
It was yeah, I really like to just manage that game and make sure I did. My butthole puckered up a little bit when I got hit with the Ancestral for the Mass Trigger.
Yeah.
I was actually thinking about using Crown just because I needed to filter in that exact spot. Yeah, it really just comes down to knowing when to block. Like when you play real mid-rangey in that matchup, I'm like, okay, I know I want to block with these cards, but you're like, I want to when I saved the Channel Mount Heroic for that snatch at the end that was coming in for 5.
Yep.
And I had a contingency plan of okay, I can either give. I didn't give him Tunic because I wanted to Tunic counter Sword Swing on the next turn, so that's why I gave him the Rabble in the end.
Right.
So it's just really any advice I can give to 5 players, if that's what you play into that Briar matchup, is if you block anything, just deny the embodiment.
Right.
If you deny that embodiment, you have a decent shot if they're trying to play that mid-range game.
Right.
But if you give me an embodiment every turn, I mean, I got 4 blocks, right? And they're just gonna be more efficient.
Absolutely.
That's what impressed me, watching you block so efficiently, so often. Like so many times you had a card that blocked for 4 when he was attacking with a 4 with an on hit, and it was lovely.
Yep.
So did he have all 3 Spreading Flames that game?
And 2 Ardivores, and I got
And
no
2
teammates.
Ardivores.
And you had to play without Channel Mount Heroic, which is hard mode.
Yeah. For those of you who haven't heard me describe playing Briar, it's like playing somebody that can whoop your ass, but your buddy's 15 minutes out.
Yep.
And that buddy's Channel Mount Heroic. I tell you what.
Turns out he was 30 minutes out tonight.
All you gotta do is put your arms up and block until he gets there.
yeah. My buddy stopped at 7-Eleven and never showed up. So.
He was like, "You got it. You got it."
Yeah.
I actually stepped away at the end of that match. Was it pretty close? Was it pretty down to the wire?
Oh yeah,
It was
1-1.
Oh, it was 1-1. Ooh.
Yeah, he played the turn in a way that it was kind of. I don't think there was any other way he could have done it, but the way the cards landed, it was very telegraphed of what he was going to do in what order. So I blocked in a way to where I went down to 1 when he was at 2, which turned on my Scar, which he was at 1, so that's guaranteed 2 cards. And then I made a Rune Chant Sword Swung, which was
Got him down to 1
More-
card
oh,
in hand, and the game was over.
Gotcha. Okay.
yeah. And then once I get him down to like the best thing he can do with 1 card in hand is a 0 for 4.
Right, and then
Yeah.
you had the
And-
tunic still, so.
Yeah, and I still had the tunic, which was exactly what I knew I needed. And then as long as I could present 2 4 attacks or swing Rosetta, I won.
Yep.
So
All
that was
right.
the game plan. We just executed.
Well, good
Very
game
good.
there. That puts us up 3-1 in the series. We still have the last match here.
Woo.
This is going to be Josh versus BZ. I'm not sure BZ's real name, but we are playing against KayFabe cards. We've had Flake and Majin Bay and a bunch of really talented players on this team. A bunch of big names in the community. If you guys are enjoying watching this stream and enjoying the content and these amazing matches and the hard work these players are putting in, feel free to subscribe to the channel, like the video. It helps with our exposure a lot. We also have a Discord you can join. The link to that is always in the description of our videos. We have a Patreon we run where we'll be posting the deck lists that we use in the team league. For anybody that wants to check those out. We also have a lot of other benefits for our patron members, and we also have a TCG player affiliate link. So if you're buying any new Dynasty cards or any cards for your decks that you see in the video that you like or anything other than that, click on that TCG player affiliate link. We just get a little kickback from it. Doesn't charge you guys anything extra. It just only helps us. So we really appreciate it, and I hope you guys enjoy this last match of the series.
Best part about being your guys' Patreon is I get to bug the ever living crap out of Nathan with really
That's
crappy deck, and he has to answer me. Like, you can't just leave and ignore me anymore. He has to answer now. It's great.
Nathan, so remember how I was running Engulfing Flame Wave in Worlds?
Mm-hmm.
So it turns out I put that in the deck because I thought Rakowski was running it. It turns out it was the FAB that he played in the quarterfinals who was running that. Rakowski did not have a single
gotcha.
copy in his list.
Gotcha.
But I was talking to Yanji earlier, and he's thinking about trying to squeeze one in. And I've already squeezed 1 copy, just 1. But for the aggro matchups, you go down to 2 Phoenix Flames. So I feel like that 3rd Phoenix Flame will just become an Engulfing Flame Wave for me. I don't know. We'll see how it actually pans out, but I like
Sure.
it as a cheeky one of.
Yeah, and Will, go ahead and make yourself gray, so you can't see anything or they can't see your hand moving.
I will be
on
right back.
TTS.
Oh, how do I make myself gray?
Click on your name, and then change color, and then click on the gray dot in the center. There you go.
Perfect.
And then that makes
Oh,
it where
thank
if you
you.
like move your mouse around, they can't see it. So like there's situations where you like point at Tunic and it reminds them of Tunic kind of thing. We don't want to do that. So
No,
so
thank you.
here we have Josh and BZ. His name is Brian Basco. Hope I didn't butcher that last name. But I've actually played against Brian before. Strong player. He played Starvo a lot back
Oh,
when
I
that was a
love
thing.
I love the aura here on turn 0.
Wait. Oh, he played
Yes.
it on his opponent's turn.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's
so,
an
Oh,
he
that's
flashes
great.
it in. Yep, gets the counter. So basically, he starts turn
What?
1.
He's
with
like
the counter.
Prism.
It's
Yep.
so good.
That's so good. I kind of love that.
Someone did that to me at our local armory event the other day. He was like, into my turn, he played an instant. I was like, hey, wait, you're not Kano? I'm Kano. What's going on here?
That's
And
really
also,
cool.
very important to note, Josh is running 70 cards. So he
Man,
is,
Big old deck.
yeah, he's got that big deck energy, that's for sure. So
Oh my
we got
goodness.
70 cards coming in because obviously with Oldhim, there's a good chance that the match could go the distance depending on how this Oldhim was to play it. Some of them like the aggressive route, some of them just like to, win the game via Frostfang and CNC, which is okay too.
Okay, so this is Go Again and Piercing 1.
Yep. Which
Piercing is
does
such an
affect
odd
Rampart.
ability.
It does.
Turns out Piercing 1 good against Rampart.
That's a fact.
And
we got
fun
look at that.
fact, I think this is the first new card we've had on stream
Yeah,
all
I
night.
was about to say it, and he played 2 in one turn.
And so shout out to Josh for the flavor win of the evening.
That's right.
And
That's
this
right.
the true champion. I know he was pushing all of us to run new cards, but it turns out we played decks that really don't care about the new cards.
Well, it's funny. I was thinking about it before my match. I was like, what dynasty card does Fi even care about? And
Right.
I think it's nothing.
I don't think there's
Yeah,
any
sure.
draconic cards in Dynasty, right? So
Yeah, no. But like even the ninja cards are like, no.
Except for those ashes, that's it.
yep.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
Obviously, I can't run those.
Alex, what did you end up playing for the game? Because I didn't get to see yours.
I played Icelander and Takano.
Oh.
He got there.
Bad.
Apparently it was 1-1.
I got there with the exact C's, but it was really, really close.
You even when you're not playing against me, you just are a magnet for other Kano players.
I am a magnet for Kano. Yep. You
Right.
will very rarely see me go to a big event and not bring Arcane Barrier. I was actually like the one telling everybody on the team to bring Arcane Barrier to Pro Tour 1 when the Kanos did well.
Yeah, no, my friend Pierre messaged me and cursed me out because of, I believe it was Sebastian when he was still on the team, because he got paired in Sebastian, and Sebastian just goes AB4, fuck you, and I'm like,
Yep.
He learned that against Kano you gotta respect it.
nah, man, you just disrespect it and hope for the best.
Yep. Sometimes that's actually correct.
Yeah.
What do we think Josh's game plan here is long term? I think Nathan, you've seen him play in Dory quite a bit and talk a little bit about his game plan into Oldhim. Do you have any thoughts from what he said in the past?
Yeah, you deal 31 damage via cards, and then you resolve 9 shunts. That's how you win the game.
That's okay. Yep.
No, I don't know if he's running actually 9 shunts, but you know, there's obviously that's when we get lower down in there, that's obviously going to be a factor. So he's already showed 1 shunt. And a giveaway, if you're ever in a match against Dorinthea and you look at their equipment and they're running Tunic, that is the easiest giveaway
That
that
they're running
Dory
shunt.
player is playing Shunt, because without the Tunic counter, it's just a hot dog water card. I mean, it's just the worst.
Yep.
So
But with
that's
Tunic, it's so good.
yeah, with Tunic it's amazing because you can with the red one, it's literally 1 card 7 value because it blocks 6 and deals the damage if it's on a weapon. So
Oh, it's fantastic.
So at that point, like if you're within lethal ranges, the Oldhim, you just stop using your Crown of Siege, right?
yeah,
On your
what it
opponent's
does is
turn, like you have to keep
it
it for yours.
yeah, it makes it where that it takes away his arsenal, because he literally has to just sit on it and then use Crown when Shunt's played. So basically, at that point, he has to beat you with a 4-card hand.
I mean, he could just activate Crown at the start of all of his turns and then still get the Cyclo's Arsenal, because the effect lasts for the full turn.
That's true. So yeah, he just has to do it every single turn. So
It just means that you can't use it on your opponent's turn, and if you do, you can't come back with a weapon.
right.
I'm sure Josh is happy to see a Sink Below on a Dawnblade for 3.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes and no. So what's happening, if you know, so Twinning Blade, very important card to lose. Glistening, a lot of people overvalue that card. That card's actually not very good. Especially in this matchup where people want to block, it's actually very bad. So, but what we have to do is we know there's 3 Twinning Blades in there. We have to keep a count, because that's his only win con, is that card.
Twinning Blade is rough, but he just traded 1 life in essence for that energy potion, and I think that's pretty good.
Totally worth it, because it's just Blizzard insurance is effectively what it is.
Yeah, Epot really has shined in the last couple of formats for Flesh and Blood CC. I think people really undervalued the power of that card in the initial days of Flesh and Blood, where like Energy Potion started off very good because it was all you had for stuff for that kind of like play. And then towards the middle game, when we got really powerful with like Chain and Prism and all that kind of stuff, Epoch kind of fell off. But now we're back into a format where it's so powerful because of all the ice in the format and things like that big damage, and like with Art of Wars and Epoch being very useful in both the wizard decks, and it's just so necessary to have a card like that to really push you over the edge.
It makes me want to get a couple cold foil Epochs. I wonder what those are sitting at.
Oh, they're very expensive. I think
Oh,
they're
no.
a couple $100 each.
Oh no.
But you can get an alpha rainbow foil for like $50.
That's not so bad.
And I think those are going to have really solid long-term value.
What's funny, I find myself now that I'm playing a all no foil FI deck. I want to get some just pink no foil snatches and
Oh,
stuff like
yeah.
that.
Yeah,
Might want to look into doing that.
those are really nice. So we got Dawnblade for 6, pretty typical play here. We got one floating. Josh took a little bit of damage, I believe, to do this turn. So I'm expecting
Got 2 cards in the
some
wings,
trickery.
There's that blizzard.
So basically,
Oh,
Josh's
that's
game
hypo,
plan
hypo.
in this matchup specifically, what he's trying to do is assess the threat that Oldhim's presenting, and saying, okay, I need to, because you don't want to lose tempo, because then you're blocking with so many cards, you're not going to get his life down even with your big turn. So what he needs to do is take turns like this where he takes a little bit of damage.
Yep.
Presents a situation where you get most of Oldhim's hand, and then
Keep firing.
Yeah, just do like little turns. We're not looking for anything crazy. We're not trying to get Downblade through every single turn. We're just trying to get cards out of Oldhim's hand to lay down the second E-pot, and the whatever else setup card he has in his deck. Set up another Iron Song Pride or something, and then what he's gonna do is he's gonna set up a Steelblade Supremacy, Twinning Blade. He might not have the Twinning Blade, but he'll at least have a Singing Steelblade for which he can tutor one off of. And then basically within that one turn alone, especially because Oldhim's already using his armor a little bit, he's easily going to get about 25 damage in that turn.
Yeah, that'll be a big turn.
Got another sink out of the way, which is nice.
You think this is going to eat the tunic counter?
I would think so.
Not unless the hand is ready to go. Not unless he has the combo.
Right. So he's probably going to pitch a card if he doesn't have the combo, right?
100%, right. He's just going to do the same thing. He's going to take the hammer, probably do like a Warrior's Valor, same kind of turn, and then if he doesn't have it.
For anybody out there watching that wants to learn how to play Warrior, or wants to learn how to play any deck for that matter, this is a really good experience for you to watch somebody play, and it's very important to pay attention to actual turn cycles and play pattern. Instead of just watching like, oh yeah, I'm sure I would have played Warrior's Valor into Dawnblade and blocked those cards and yada yada. That's very easy to watch a game and just think that's all that's happening. Whereas you should pay very close attention to everything Josh pitches every time he uses the Tunic counter to block with Shunt. Because I've seen him pitch a few Shunts to the bottom, things like this. And pay attention to how much damage he takes versus how much damage he's presenting, and if that got him tempo. Just really pay attention to everything in the turn cycle to try to understand how Josh is playing. To actually learn the deck, to learn how to beat Oldhim, because
it takes now that is fun.
It takes so many repetitions to learn how to beat something like this, and you have to play absolutely immaculately. Any blocking mistakes could just lose you the game on the spot. It's crazy. Life for Life, a card that Josh has been favoring recently, I believe.
Yeah, if you think about it, it's actually kind of genius, because you get that Warrior's Valor or like a Spoils where you have the guaranteed go again, but maybe it doesn't hit, so you just slap that on the end of it, and then
call it a day. Gain some life, call it a day.
That's it. And also, in reference to the last turn, noticing the card he pitched on Winter's Bite, it was a red overpower.
Yeah.
And the reason that he did that was a concept called threat density. In this matchup, he has to maintain there's really strong red cards that have the most threat within them as far as damage is concerned, or he's not going to be able to close the game. So that's why you'll see, watch, like, Josh might make like super inefficient pitches, but it's to maintain certain cards is the idea. And then kind of block with those crappy like blue hit and run and things like that. And he's trying to keep the ratio even within his deck, so that way he doesn't just draw a handful of blues and lose the game.
Yep.
Well, it's funny
Oh.
because like Dory is one of the few heroes I think that still has to think about those kind of things. Like I need to pitch some threat density to the bottom because I'm going to see that cycle. Where like
Yep.
with 5, I have to think about it.
Right, especially in this matchup in particular, because
Yeah.
Dory has notoriously had a hard time with Oldhim. Because I mean, what deck blocks better than this deck in the reaction phase, you know? And so he's just got to keep a certain number of cards that can actually win him the game when Oldhim's at 10 or less life.
That was also a 4 red hand from Josh.
It was.
'Cause he
He did
played
pretty good with it.
He played red stunt. He played red life for life. He pitched red overpower, and he pitched the red piercing card to play the life for life.
Mm-hmm.
So like he wasn't resource wise. He didn't have a lot he could try to do with that hand anyway.
Right.
Yep.
Oh, that's a channel offer. How does he play in the channel late frigid? Like how detrimental is that card to him?
If it's not on the big turn, it doesn't matter. He's
Yeah.
just going to execute the exact same game plan and just mid-range it. He'll block one card. See, there's that twinning blade. That's what I'm talking about. He's pitching cards together that are super impactful. Like
I love that his damage has all been shunt so far, but it is damage.
it's getting there. It's getting there, and it's preventing frostbite.
More importantly,
Look at that Dawn Blade for 3, pitching those juicy reds. Look at that.
juicy.
I love to see him playing that new aura card. I like that card. I think it's cool.
Are there any significant cards in the Oldhim deck that he really cares about? Whereas, like, man, I really hope like he doesn't play this card this turn. You know, like because I feel like Endless Winter, the only thing it really does is give him a frostbite when he swings with the Dawn Blade. So unless that's on like his big turn, that doesn't really matter. I feel like.
Just the regular CNC Frostfang pummel.
Right,
Normal
just
stuff like
right.
spinal obviously, but that's why Josh is saving his armor. He's gonna sit on his armor. He's gonna draw the big hand. Like right now in his arsenal is probably a singing Steelblade if I had to guess, and he's just waiting to draw a blue Steelblade Supremacy and like a attack reaction that pumps.
Yeah.
And then the other card could just be whatever. It doesn't matter. And then we're gonna see Oldham's life not be so high.
The Oldhim just pitched a red staunch, and this is actually something I used to like to do when I was playing Guardian, is when you see your opponent pitch a bunch of very threatening cards to the bottom, you know that you go through your deck slightly faster than they do. So that red staunch generally comes up a turn or two before they get to those impactful cards. So he'll have that staunch just slap down an arsenal when he gets towards that turn where he's got, you know, the red overpower and things like that.
The only thing that's going to throw a wrench in that is the fact that when he uses Steelblade's, or not Supremacy, but Singing Steelblade, it's going to shuffle.
Wow.
So that wasn't a Frosty Hammer here, was it? So what was?
No, he blocked for 6 there just to get. I think he's literally trying to get some of those cards out of the way.
Yep.
And there are certain cards I think Josh just doesn't want to impact his pitch cycle, and they'll just throw a wrench in his plan later. So he might as well just not take damage, even if it's just 1 damage and it's an inefficient block.
Yep. So that was almost the correct hand because he had the spoils, the Supremacy, the blue, and then. But the problem was the other card was run through, and it wasn't a pump because that first attack has to hit. So
Right.
that made it where it could have worked, but it probably wasn't worth it. Or he has a Supremacy in Arsenal. It's not a Singing Steelblade.
Right. His opponent here thinking about this block. The Spoils of War, the Copper, I actually don't think Josh would ever use a Copper in this particular deck, so I don't think that matters. But the 5 go again with 1 floating means another sword's going to come in after it if it gets to hit. So 5 being a little bit more of a critical break point when your opponent's playing Crown of Seeds.
Phoenix also on 3, so he has to kind of respect the D-react or the attack reaction.
Blizzard.
Blizzard.
Interesting. If you're blocking for 5, why do you Blizzard?
don't-
If he has the attack reaction because he has tunic counter, he could play like an out for blood, and then tunic into another swing. So it's just a way to say, look, don't play that arsenal card. I don't think it's correct.
Wouldn't
but
he want
the,
him to play the Arsenal card and then Blizzard him?
That is correct. That's
Okay.
That's what I would do. Yeah.
Okay.
He might have just been a little quick on the draw. Okay.
Okay, so it was right. So they look at the pommel. What a madman.
Hey, what the hell?
He
Okay.
did it.
So this is the structure of the big turn. Okay, so we have draw on hit, +2 throughout for the rest of the turn. He has pitched the blue, also has the E-Pot as backup, and the opponent played a Blizzard, which is kind of like, and he has tunic counter on 3. So Josh is good to go in resources. I
He also
promise
pitched
you,
Blizzard
he has a
earlier.
Singing Steel Blade in hand,
Mhm.
or he already has Twinning Blade, probably, and a way to go again on the fly, maybe a glint, maybe a run through.
They're saying there's Twinning Blade, Singing Steel Blade, and the Glint.
Yep.
He's just got it all.
Wouldn't be bad.
Yep. So literally, unfortunately, in this situation, if you overblock, you're punished by Twinning Blade. If you block exactly like he's currently doing, you're punished because he can just pump it. I mean, this is one of those situations where it really is in Dory's court.
He's getting it all the way up to 7.
Yep. So now he can just. Well, it wouldn't be 7. Wouldn't be the correct answer. You always got to do at least
No,
plus.
he's 8. He's 8 with the crown, I think.
Yep. So yeah, you always got to do at least +3. But there is one card that makes it like I think precision here, or there's a reaction that has a piercing, so
Yeah.
it would be +4. So that would be really good here, if he has it.
Josh taking
Okay,
a
so-
look through his graveyard now.
He's got singing.
That means he
Yeah.
has Singing Steel Blade,
Exactly.
100%. So he's trying to assess what the Oldhim player could have in his hand. Like, you know, he doesn't have an arsenal, so hasn't been sitting on a card for particularly long. And you know, if he has the staunch in hand, that's just like unfortunate. But
So if you don't have the twinning, but you have singing and glint in your hand, do you glint for go again, draw a card, singing for the +3, or do you singing for the twinning blade to go around it, or what's the correct play?
well, so the Oldhim used Rampart here, which to me throws a red flag to staunch response.
Is there ever a reason here for the Oldhim to respond to Stinging with the Ice React? To
So
force one of the cards away in his hand?
No, because if you do Ice React, then he's just gonna play them all.
He's just
Because it's in
playing.
reactions.
But if he plays them all on this one, it means that you can block the next one without
he's got
getting
the piercing.
blocked out.
Yep, that's the piercing one I was talking about. That
So
gives you
here's the
exactly
new
one
card.
over.
I'll pull it up for everybody. Target sword or dagger gains +3 in piercing 1, which is essentially going to be a +4 here because of the rampart.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's
that's a
what-
fantastic card.
10 to.
It should be over
10
by
to
1.
10 to 7.
Or
10 to
over
8.
by 2, yeah. 2.
Well, he's blocking
Right.
for 8 currently, right? So he'll go down to 7, and Josh goes up to 10. So I believe he's over by 3. If I'm thinking
Yeah, I
about that
think you're
correctly.
right. You're right. I think.
Yeah, because Crown makes 7. Yeah, you're right. Yep. So
Oh, he only took 2
Then-
there.
Took 2.
It's only over by 2 because the piercing doesn't actually get rid of the block on the equipment. So he had 7 on block plus 1 from Crown. So he had 8 blocking.
yeah, it doesn't
total.
decrease
Oh.
it. It just
It
gives it
doesn't actually
+1.
decrease
Okay,
It just
it gives it
gives
an
it plus.
extra buff. That makes
Yeah,
sense.
Yeah.
but now we're gonna rip the card off the top, and he also has shown that like his opponent has told Josh, "Hey, I don't have staunch response in my hand," so Josh knows that he's good to go. So we didn't have the twinning here, which is okay. So a lot of times he likes to do like a third swing, which is obviously ideal in that situation. But now he has a counter on Dawnblade, still has his E-Pot, and has almost full tempo.
Oh, it's too bad he couldn't get an extra bit of value out of those cards.
Got a
Oh,
third
okay.
swing there would have been monstrous. Jesus. Because he had the boots for go again if he needed it.
Yep.
And a lot of people will sit down with Dory and fight an Oldhim and be like, "Oh, gotta play an Oldhim." Whereas Josh sits down across from an Oldhim, rubs his hands together, and goes, "A challenge." And so you'll see him after the match. He'll probably come in here and he'll be talking about how he played perfectly, and like if he loses or wins, whatever. Like he's gonna talk about like the whole game in detail, and he'll remember it. So it'll be fun to dissect afterwards.
See. Oh, he's got the shunts.
Get shunted. Dawnblade for 4. Now this becomes a bit more aggravating for the Oldhim player. That one counter adds quite a bit of problem.
2 floating too. You can do some things.
So 2 block plus crown at the ready for the 3 overblock. Ooh.
He's got the routes.
The route.
Oh, buddy wasn't ready for the route.
I mean,
Oldhim
got
needs
the
some
Briar?
milk.
Oldhim needs some milk.
He needs some milk.
Oh, that's a well-timed route.
it's deader than grass. Remember?
Deader than grass.
Did he take the 4? No, he's gonna.
Is he gonna
see.
staunch it? Nope.
No, he's gonna crown and
he ain't
hope
got
he draws into it.
He's trying to.
He ain't built like that.
How many red staunches have we seen so far, or have we seen blue staunches?
I only saw the one that he pitched. I
Right.
don't recall the color.
It was red. The one he pitched was
Okay.
red.
That's the only one I've seen. Which makes sense because this list looks very aggressive.
He's
So,
taking 3 damage here, right? And he gets to
4?
keep,
Maintaining
and
the-
he gets
Oh,
to keep his.
keep the counter. That's
Yeah.
the important part.
That's absolutely.
That's
Now he
huge.
just starts. He just keeps chipping away at him. Like
The card he put back was just a blue Thunderquake, I believe.
I'll admit, I would not have expected route from the Oldhim side. That would have surprised me.
nobody ever expects route.
And then it's kind of like the pummel effect where you get down to the end of the game and you get to a situation where you basically can't play around route.
Yeah.
Such a
Give him
punishing
another
card.
shunt.
And see, like in this situation, unless he's holding a pummel, which pummeling Ice Hammers like never feels good.
Yeah, it's not great.
Especially when you like don't even get an arsenal afterwards. Like he had to look for the D react.
I knew he had the shunt. I
And
knew it.
still shunted. Gee, what a madman! What a madman!
Bro, how
Oh
many
my
shots is
God.
that? What the
Oh,
fuck?
I
I'm
told
sure
you,
he's
9
playing.
damage,
I'm sure
bro.
he's playing
9
9.
damage.
I
bro.
swear he's gotten like 4 or 5 damage off of shunts this match alone.
Oh,
Like,
there goes
Alright.
another blizzard to the bottom.
ooh,
Oh,
love
the
to see it.
heave.
So he's played one and picked the other 2. So like, how close are we to second cycle?
Let's see how many
Gotta be
cards.
getting there.
I can't actually visibly see the Oldhim deck count. I'm not.
Oldhim has 36 cards in deck.
Okay, so I don't think
Look
he's
at that.
on second cycle yet. But
Pitching the good cards, holding them for later.
he doesn't want to. Well, no, you can't Crown of Seeds
see,
face-up cards. So
What I would love here is like you pitch the red card to like, oh yeah, I don't have much, take my counter, and then he just goes, bam, red overpower. I'd love to see it. Love to see it. Blocking
Blocking
7.
for
Overblock
7.
by 3.
overpower.
Oh, it's for 6.
Oh, Josh is a madman. I told you. Oh goodness. What a savage to hide the blue like that.
Yep.
Oh, what a savage. Oh goodness.
And to put a Steelblade Supremacy with a good blue card on the bottom.
Oh, that's a great
What a
point.
madman, bro.
He only got 3 through there, but that's 3, and he can
No,
keep
that's
his
huge because
counter.
like you
That's
got
huge,
2
yeah.
cards and he keeps the counter. It's huge.
Yeah, you're right. That's massive.
I mean, look, ever since that big turn that we talked about, Josh's life has not moved
You're
a
right.
single
He's
point.
been in the
And
driver's
Oldhim
seat.
has lost what, 17 life?
Yep.
Nah,
And
I don't know what
Josh-
to do with this 8.
It's not Oldham's fault that Josh plays 3,000 shots. All right.
Bro, I'm telling you, bro.
And the tunic's been churning out value too.
God,
Oldham's
This
worst
is-
nightmare is playing against Josh on Dorinthea.
Yep.
I knew he was taking that 8. I just knew it.
All right, so this is a big one. Here we go.
There we
The
go.
question is, we popping the E-pot now or later?
Oh, look, he had the shot.
5-card hand coming in for 7.
Yep. Coming in hot.
No blizzards
He's
in
Double
finally
sight.
throat.
cycling. He's finally cycling a shunt to the bottom so he can kill him with it.
Oh, he's
That's
got
right.
he's got actually 2 or 3 of them on the bottom now.
Oh, does he?
Yeah.
I missed
Shunt has
the other.
always been one of my favorite defense reactions. Got me to a finals once.
I remember.
I've always liked shunt because it doesn't affect me.
Ooh,
Card does nothing to me.
ooh, all 3 command and conquers in the bench.
Yeah,
And he's
right
still gonna
there.
get over because all he needs is +3.
I
So
bet
this,
Buddy has the sync here. He's got to.
yeah, Josh is
Ooh.
getting like, yeah, D, should have a D react here. Okay, yeah,
Should have something in his arsenal to get over too, no? Or no?
probably not. It's probably a setup card like Supremacy or a 20
How,
blade.
what happened there? How did he stop the damage? I missed it.
Earth react.
He did Earth react. Yep.
Oh, he did the Earth React. Okay. I was just looking for a blue.
Yep. He's just trying to swing that hammer.
Do you use ring hammer here and lose your crown of seeds?
Yeah,
That's a good
100%.
question.
If you
Oh.
if
If
you
he
have
got
an
it, I mean,
yeah, if you have an
yeah,
ice
he-
card,
he-
you do.
Yeah. So Josh now has full tempo.
Oh.
He's checking his hero card, making sure it works.
This is not card.
It does
Right.
indeed allow me to swing my
Yeah.
blade twice.
He just had to double check, you know.
Yep.
Tunic counter on 3. E-pot in play steal.
So this shunt that's
What
in his
is
hand's
that
gonna
thing
about
with
to
the
go in the arsenal. I got a
It's
feeling
also
that E-pot's gonna be there a little.
Oldhim is dead or not.
Yeah, he's doing his math right now. Where
Yeah.
I've watched
You must be-
I've watched Josh play so many times. He'll get into this situation here where he's like rolling with tempo, and he'll start going and start counting all of his cards in his hand and being like, yep, you're dead, and then just start swinging.
And he's
Yeah.
never wrong.
He's never wrong. No.
Does Josh not run Iron Song Determination for the Dominate?
No,
Nope.
he said it's a trap.
That's
Yeah.
a trap?
Yeah.
Interesting. Why? I'll ask him when he gets here, I guess.
Look at that.
We'll get over
Look
my
at that.
one.
The
Response.
blue one coming in clutch. He's
And the
Oh!
route! Oh!
Put
Put
that
that
back in
card
your
away.
hand.
God.
That's right.
You're blocking for 3.
Somebody get that Oldhim some milk. Somebody.
Somebody come get her. She's looking like a stripper.
Oh goodness, this is too
In
good.
trouble. 'Cause
So
that's
does he
10.
have the deer yet?
No, he doesn't.
Oh,
Or
yeah.
he wouldn't have blocked like that.
Yeah, unless it's what, the red
He has an
star
Earth react.
shot.
That's it. And a crown of seeds if he wants.
So
But if he
he's gonna
crowns
take
here and
5
does
here.
nothing, yeah,
Yeah, looking like take 5.
5 damage on a no-go again turn is pretty good.
You don't
Yeah.
break the shoes for another swing? Oh, no, you
No.
don't.
No,
You
no.
don't.
nah, that's for an exact moment when you know you can kill
You're
him.
right. You're right. I'm just antsy.
You're not antsy with
See?
your Mask of the Pouncing Links.
Oh, man.
That's your
I remember-
boots.
I remember thinking to myself, like, no, I'll save this for the perfect moment.
And then you go smacked with a fighting spirit.
This is a good turn
Oh,
for the Oldhim.
Frigid. Yeah. Can't be mad at a Lake Frigid.
There goes. Oh.
Oh, there's the shunt.
It
I'm
did
so
stop.
tired of seeing that card this match already. Like,
It did
Those are
stop him
nasty,
from using tunic counter to
That's
use
true.
the shunt.
That's true. This is just a sword swing threatening a reaction, basically.
probably.
No,
Beezy's
it's-
over there. How
it's-
many sharks have you
It's
played?
basically like just give me a card and you can only hit me with 3.
Yeah.
Yep. Him being off the arsenal's pretty big here, meaning that Josh's next turn will probably be a full hand.
Oh. Okay, so unless that arsenal is a reaction, we're not reacting here.
I think that just means he's probably got like the card I think it's just he has a card that he prefers over glistening in his hand. I don't think there's any shenanigans gonna happen this turn.
Seems right.
Can we get a deck count? Anybody can give me a deck count on Josh's deck
Yep.
and the Oldham's deck?
Oldhim is
Josh,
at 29. Josh is at 30.
30 to
Yep.
29, but Josh is a full hand, so he's looking a little better.
So they're about the same in deck right now?
Josh
Josh
has
a
about
little
5
higher.
more cards.
Okay, Josh is fine. Okay,
This is a Spinal Crush and 2 ice cards, keeping the Channel Lake Frigid out.
yeah, that's quite good.
And also,
good.
look at Josh's armor. Look how clean.
And look at his
That's a great
opponent's
point.
armor.
Yeah, look at his opponent. It's
Crippled.
just been drugged to the dirt. It ain't nothing there. He's walking around with no shoes on. I mean, it's rough for Oldhim right now.
Like a hobbit. Got like the dress.
Don't forget about the Channel Lake Frigid,
Alright,
Josh.
let's go.
Don't forget about the Channel Lake Frigid, Josh.
Oh, he can't because he's got a pitch for it. Nice
got a
try,
pitch
Josh.
for it.
Nice try.
You got a blue or a yellow you don't care about?
You can still
Was
shine.
the red one blocked for 6?
Yes.
Oh my god, Steelblade Shunt's so good.
It's too good.
The Lake Frigid is trouble here, but I think he'll be
Nah,
fine.
it just means he's gonna block a little bit and do
This
the
is-
same thing.
Block 9, Naked Sword Swing.
That's it.
I
I
don't
think
know
the
his
reason it's
hand
taking him so long is he has gas in his hand.
Yeah, he has a
doesn't
good one.
want-
Block 9.
No, that's not that good.
There was potential for cuteness, but
He might have been trying to figure out how he's going to play around
Hmm.
channel because he had triple blue in his hand.
there was a sword swing glint into Life for a Life play there. Not that that's that amazing.
Yeah, not something you want to take 9 damage for, that's for sure.
Nope. Keeping those glints though.
Oh,
really
yeah.
important card.
Oh yeah.
Really important card.
Put it right next to that blue shunt.
Yep. If Josh is any decent hand, he's gonna immediately tick down 8 life. In this situation. Oldhim not on an arsenal, he's gonna tick that thing down 8.
He's
in
going
a
to go
heartbeat, bro.
boop, 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 boop.
So Oldhim should be getting close to that 1 red staunch response we've seen, right?
Let's see.
Is it 27 cards now? So like,
Yeah. It might be
That
another
should be
hand or
within,
two.
like-
Yeah, he's definitely
be
close
within the
to it.
next 8 cards. If
Definitely,
my math is right.
definitely
Up,
getting
there it
close.
goes. There it goes. He took 8.
Now his opponent goes, uh-oh.
He's yep. That's when Brian was like, "Oh man, woo! I
Oh.
lied. He is running that."
You lied to me.
Look
I
at
was
me.
lied to.
He wasn't
Look
running
at
it
me.
before, in all fairness.
Yeah.
You dirty liar.
So,
No
so this-
arsenal with dominate and no armor. Oof.
on the surface, this looks very innocent because it's like, oh, he only has 1 card in hand in an arsenal, but he has 3 resources. He has Tunic and E-Pot.
And
So
one floating.
anything is possible.
He also should be coming back to the second cycle Blizzards that he picked.
I think Oldhim is just. I think this is the turn where
Yeah.
Oldhim
The single blizzard's not going to matter anymore because of the E-Pot.
E-Pot. Yep.
And we're not Icelander over here and being able to put frostbites on the table while making you have to pay 2 for go again.
Yep. Come on, you know this game's fair.
All
Game
right.
is fair enough.
Josh is still sitting. Really important note though, he took 8 and did not block with bolters. So he knew for a fact he did not need them. So obviously because he had the Warrior's Valor, but I think that he also has a backup contingency in his hand or arsenal in the event that it is overblocked.
His opponent going to use Rampart pitching a red pummel. Interesting.
Well, like I said before, that's about as efficient as vacuuming your front yard.
Yep.
Josh's opponent just put a dehumidifier in the rain. I tell you what.
I'm not sure why he didn't save the Rampart for the second swing. Because the second swing is going to come in for...
All right, we got +3 to guarantee. Because why not?
And then he's going to swing again for 4.
And for those of you wondering why he played it on that one is because he was doubting that his opponent would block the second attack, so he went ahead and got the 3 damage in and didn't want to get stuck with the card.
Ooh, down to 6, 2
Oh,
cards in hand.
Is there ever a time where you break refraction bolters there to attack with it? No, you can't attack with it again.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you would need the
Yeah.
twitting blade.
Never mind. I forgot that was the thing.
All right, so I'm.
Well, we know that
Josh
we know the
might be
steel
in
blades
armor
are
block
powerful, don't
territory.
we?
Yeah, I'm thinking if he's tied on resources, but like he would give the armor. But I'm thinking just maybe armor block, but mainly just to activate crown and maybe sink a shunt because you're so on the offense here and you have so much tempo. So I think he's gonna try to dip a shunt out of either arsenal or just have the perfect hand. That works too.
Why not play the shut?
Yeah,
then?
he didn't even
Opportunist mana.
Didn't even think a card.
Yep. So that's like not what Oldhim wants to see. That he's got Epot, Tunic.
We'll see.
Yeah,
He's back
dream.
around a cycle. He might be on his steel blade supremacy. Oh, here it goes, boys. Oh, is this that turn that he pitched the spoils with that other really good red card, the 4?
Well, he shuffled. He shuffled
Oh,
after that.
true,
So
true.
There's no correlation, but
Gotcha.
this is about the scariest thing: is seeing 6 guaranteed go again and 4 mystery cards into a resource. So like your knee-jerk reaction is you have to like just jam your whole hand down, but if you do that, twinning blade will kill you.
And keep in mind, guys, his opponent is at an effective like 4 life because of shunts. Like,
Right.
he's either just not gonna be able to swing Winter's Wail the rest of the game, and only have to swing with attacks, which is very unlikely for the Oldhim to be able to pull off because of how expensive all the attacks in his deck are. There's that red staunch that Justin was talking about.
Hey, look, I was right. It was within 2 hands.
So
Math is
this
still math.
one was from Arsenal, right? So this, oh no, this isn't unmovable. What am I thinking about? This is just a good old-fashioned block 7.
That's it. But I don't think it's enough. I think we're gonna see 1 pump, like an out for blood or something like that, and then if the opponent has another D react, I
Twinning
think then
blade.
he probably goes around.
Oh, it
So
should be
he's-
steel
Or-
blade.
Or he just has
Oh,
double out for blood.
All right, that works too. That's pretty good. What a madman!
12.
It
Plus
still has an
Dawnblade
arsenal.
counter. Oh my.
Still
So
has
Dawnblade had the
Tunic
counter,
Throne
right?
again. Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it was
it's about to get to.
this is 13?
This is
12.
yes. Yeah, 12. But then the next attack when he swings naked, it's gonna be +2 because of the 2 out for bloods.
You're right.
Disgusting.
He did have the sink.
Yep.
but I
Still
think
gets
that's
over by
still
one, right?
Yeah, still gets over by 1.
Yep.
Oh, it could have the Earth react.
Oh, he's gonna try to find it here.
Did he get it,
Wait,
or was it?
hold on.
What?
4 plus 7, that's 11. He had 12, right?
Yeah, he didn't crown either.
Oh, but he
What?
didn't have go again, right? No, the
No,
spoils of
spoils.
war. He had spoils of war. Did I
Yeah,
miss something?
They
Maybe
didn't
he
take
blocked
black
for
down either.
taxes?
Must have missed something.
I don't know.
Should we ask?
Nope.
We can't- actually, we can't-
Josh
can't
knows what
interfere.
he's
Yep.
talking
We
about.
can't interfere in any way.
Yep.
So we'll let them handle it. But Josh still has 26 cards to deal 5 damage, which 3 of those are probably shunt. So
I know he has a blue, and maybe a red left.
He just played. I mean, we can look at the graveyard, right? Nope, can't look at the graveyard.
I can. I had the stream up, but let's see. This is just a Dawnblade for 3 with 3 cards in hand. That's not scary at all.
yep. Because if you ever get punished by 3, by him coming over by 3, then you've lost because of shunts. So
Oh, he had Crown active on that turn apparently. That was the extra point we were missing.
I didn't think he had an arsenal, but
Yeah, I
guess-
thought he didn't have an. Well, no, because he played the defense
he
reaction from
crowned and then
Arsenal.
staunched. Yeah.
Wait. Oh, he crowned
it
and then
wasn't from
staunched from
Arsenal.
hand. Ah,
Yes, yeah,
okay.
yeah.
That's where we missed it.
Roll Tide.
Roll time?
So going over by 1, getting the glint to force the D-React out of the opponent's hand that he knows is probably there. Very classic move. So the D-React's going to be played, and then or
no.
crown. Yep, but that's okay because then he'll glint, draw a card, and then pump. So when he went and grabbed glint, it just told the Oldhim player that I have access to another pump of some sort. Because Josh isn't going to be bad enough to not play around Crown of Seeds.
Yeah, see, thank you, Josh, for shuffling your hand and not showing your opponent the card you just drew.
Yep. So we know Josh has a pump, but he's just trying to figure out which one to play.
Could have a twinning blade and just try to go around.
Yeah, Josh will set up a lot of his turns where he can either go tall or go around, based off of how his opponent blocks. Yep.
Or
Oh!
just CNC. What a madman.
Also a good
Gross.
card.
That's gross. Especially if you have 3 defense
I
reactions.
was about to say, how's that staunch in your hand looking now?
Yeah. Got him.
If he
Taking
yeah, I
3.
was about to say if he takes 3 here, then
Can you
can't
ever
D-React
hammer
this.
swing again? If you if you go to 2?
No, if you go to 2, I mean, you get double shunted in a heartbeat, bro.
No, you never get to hammer swing again. That's sad.
I mean, you still have crown, so it's like. But the problem is, like, now, okay, if he hammers here, like, sure, that's fine. Armor. Josh will use some armor in 1 card or something. But, like, yeah, he has to prioritize the arsenal over the hammer swing, which just gives Josh more tempo. And it's just rough spot for Oldhim right here.
Okay, Josh has 17 cards in library and Oldhim has 18, so they're staying really even. Though Josh started with like 12 more cards or some shit.
and now we're gonna get to the point where Josh is gonna start swinging big Dawn blades, and Oldham's not gonna have a choice but to just block with a bunch of cards from hand. He's gonna lose his deck real quick because Josh's threat density is still pretty high.
Yeah, we haven't seen that red overpower he pitched like 30 turns ago.
He also has 2 twinning blades, I think, left in his deck.
Yep.
So it'll probably get to the point where Oldham's at a life total where he feels like he needs to overblock with cards, and then the twinning blade will just go broop, right around it.
The old 2-step.
Yep.
Nice. I love the inclusion of Tunic. Very fun.
Where to find them?
Imagine
yeah.
somebody paying $300 just to have a blue card not blocked.
That's
I
what I'm
tell
Is
you.
it
trying
that
to say.
expensive right now? My goodness.
No, it's
I mean,
It's like
That's
good
what
card,
Tunic
just
is
not
to me.
not when you're higher life.
Tunic's a $200 piece of iron right for me.
There you go.
Now, I will say that was the only staunch response I saw the Oldhim have at any point during the game, unless I missed one on pitch, or unless they were
Well,
always in Arsenal.
yeah, he
Like,
can.
I never saw another one.
That's the thing about Crown of Seeds. You can hide so many cards.
Let's go.
Those pummels that he's been pitching are going to become liabilities now because they're only 2 blocks.
That's a great point.
2 block, not strong. Oh, with the glint. Same play. Back
Yep.
on back. You go over by 1, you force Oldhim to make a play, so it's like, okay, use your whole card to Crown of Seeds so I can catch you outside, vacuum in the ground. And then,
He does have Tunic counter, so
oh, that makes it a little easier. Oh, but now he's up by 2, so now it's like,
Oh.
okay, you have to have the D react or Earth react.
well, now this is presenting lethal, right? Oh wait, hold on.
No,
What is
no,
it?
he's
No,
blocking
not
3.
quite.
Oh, the
It's
aura is
3 on
not the
5.
one. Put a +1 counter on sword when it leaves the arena move. Okay.
But Josh still has 3 cards, so yeah.
This is a good spot.
Okay, that's good if he doesn't have a blue.
It is
but
got a blue though.
I think you just get punished if he dumps. Okay.
Oh, it's one more card out of the.
Yeah, but it
Opponent's
is a good
hand.
play because now you like reduce your chances of getting hit by an overpower or a route.
Right.
It's still possible, but you are reducing it.
So he's up to 5 on the Dawnblade right now, getting over by 2, just over the Crown of Seeds. So he's going to need to either Earth react or have a defense reaction of some sort. Yeah, Oldham's in a pickle and a half here.
That's a fact.
Because, like, if you Earth react and then he pumps, you potentially just lose the game.
Mm-hmm.
And if you let this hit, you also potentially lose the game.
I think the Oldhim player has to Earth react here or play some type of D react.
Well, okay.
If he takes 2 here, that's it.
Moving over the life total. Okay, yeah.
It's like, dude.
Down to 2. Now Josh has to just use those last 2 shunts in his deck. At worst.
He's still got like potential.
But he's still got
even
go
here.
again, and he's swinging for 4 if he
With
doesn't
2
use
cards
bracers.
left. Yeah, like he's looking okay.
Curious what those last 2 cards are. I think one might be a Twinning Blade.
Well,
I
we
mean,
might see
shoot, even
bolters.
swinging for 5 here is pretty good. Like,
Oh,
with
yeah.
2 cards left. It's like,
Don't foresee a way out of this game for the Oldhim.
Are they frozen? What's going on?
No, they're
Okay.
just he's just thinking.
considering using the thing.
Oh, he used the weapon or the gloves. I forgot about those. So Dawnblade for 5.
Coming in for 5, yeah. That blue pummel
there's
that's
that
not doing anything. Nice.
That's also the benefit as a Dory player if you play attack actions in your deck, like CNC Life for Life. You sometimes persuade the opponent to over-respect or under-respect the first attack because there may be something else on the end, right? Because there's nothing worse than blocking 9 and then having a CNC thrown at you.
Yeah.
So,
And again, they're maintaining 1 card difference on deck count. So like,
yep.
the fatigue isn't looking like it's going to be the best here.
The CNC he played on that one turn was pretty spicy. I liked
Oh.
that.
Yep, that was a great play.
Here comes the second Iron Song Determination that Nathan told me he didn't run.
Well, I think it might just be the one-up because we would have seen it by now. I'm almost
I
certain.
think it's a one-up as well. I think he just put in the 1. He talked about it the other day, but I don't think anybody else took it seriously.
Naked Dawnblade with a tunic, 5-card hand.
Classic.
Oh
Naked.
my.
Naked.
We call this casual lethal.
No, we call this swinging.
That's fucking
Swinging
hilarious.
naked. All right, so we got Crown Prevention. So technically, Josh is up 3. So you have to block what
9?
but then you get blown up by twinning, right? Yeesh, I would not want to be Oldhim right here. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, rocking a hard place. New definition for that.
See, Josh is secretly going to fatigue the Oldhim player.
Yeah,
That's what ends up happening eventually when you're at a low life and you have to over-respect the Dawnblade is you just get fatigued.
Makes sense.
Because Josh used no cards to take 2 cards here, and that feels good. Like,
Robert in the chat with the classic Mortal Kombat line. Finish
No doubt.
him.
I think that's Bob.
Hey Markovich, the deck lists will be available to patrons in our Discord.
hey, look, there's that Twinning Blade we've been talking about.
Go again, Twinning Blade. Let me get those last cards in your hand, please.
Yes, sir. Actually,
Do you have a resource?
isn't it just over?
He spits the steel blade too soon, but yeah,
Oh, okay.
he could attack with it.
Three-time
Yeah.
WTR champ. Bob was a god at WTR draft.
He was.
He was the end boss.
All right, they both have 16 cards.
I
The
mean,
difference is Josh doesn't have to block, and Brian absolutely has to block.
he can't
Doesn't
really
Josh have
see his
17
hand.
cards?
Maybe. I don't know.
You just don't know how to count.
Yep, that's the thing. He got 17. And more armor.
And more armor.
Oh, there's that shunt. Just maiming on him.
Next sword gets a go again and piercing 1. Go again, go again, go again. He said, please block with your rampart.
It's gotta feel bad to be on the other side of the dog. This is just any mistake and you're done for.
Eventually, like, Brian's only out is he has to put Josh on you don't have it, and he has to even block and get away with it. That's like the only way he gets back in the game.
Yep.
Yeah.
Does that really get him back in the game, though, with 2 shunts floating around at 2 live?
No, it's still a very losing position, but it's like the only shot you got. Like that's all you can do. But like even this, like a route just blows you out. Like
Yeah,
an
a route would
overpower
be
just
good.
blows you out. Like it's insane.
And every time you swing that hammer, you gotta pucker your butt and hope there's not a... Oh, no.
This is last +1 aura.
Yeah, it means that he's getting over. Or
Ooh.
not.
What's he
Huh?
putting back?
You just played a fucking remembrance? What?
I think he played it just to get it out of the deck. I don't know.
Did you
I
get
think
out of the
both
hand so I can get
cards
a full
were just
draw?
to get him out, yeah.
I mean, you get Iron Song Determination route and something here, right?
Oh, he was playing the Iron Song Pride just to get it out. That makes sense.
Just gonna shuffle 3 go again cards back in.
Look at that. What
Oh.
a savage.
He's gonna
Amazing.
make my Dawnblade swing big.
Schwangin'.
Guys, thank you so much for watching. I know there's quite a few of you in here at the moment. I hope you guys are enjoying this incredible match. Josh putting on a Dorinthea masterclass for everybody to watch. If you are enjoying, make sure to hit the like button. We'd really appreciate it. And let's watch the conclusion of this match. Oh, and by the way, the week this whole FAB league, I don't know how many weeks there are, but it will continue to go. So we have plenty more FAB league to go after this. And if you have any questions about the deck lists or anything like that in the video, all of the deck lists from at least our side, we can't get our opponent's deck lists, obviously, but from at least our side of the table will be available for our patron in the Discord. And we'll have all of the VODs and everything saved on YouTube, so you can go watch those later at any point.
Double shunt. Double shunt.
So one thing I noticed that Josh forgot to shuffle at first, so he accidentally shuffled the shunt away that he pitched last turn. So it's not on the bottom where it should be.
That's okay. This game isn't ended by Sean, I don't think. Or did I lie?
And now every time he swings the hammer, he might just die.
Yep. Oh, it's
Oof,
so good.
there you go. Already got
16.
some value off of that thing.
But
And
he's
then-
wishing he had stalagmite right now.
Yeah, that's too good. Although
Well,
he
is there
can,
any real follow up here? Like
Oh
you
wait,
just
he has
block-
no resources.
yeah,
Yeah.
well, the opponent has to look at his deck and make sure that he has no more Iron Song responses. Even blue ones, because blue one kills you.
I quit the game if I died to Blue Iron Song response.
I mean,
Blue Iron Song. For anybody that doesn't know, I think this is one of the most hilarious things I've seen in Flesh and Blood. Josh's route has a stat track counter on the back of it. So every time he kills somebody with a route, he pulls it out of the sleeve and gives it another stat track counter.
Oh, that's fucking great.
I think it's hilarious, but because he's got like other people doing it too, so like.
It's awesome. Oh, pitching this for Shield. He's vacuuming the front lawn. Nope, it was for ground. Never mind.
What is Oldhim gonna do with 5 pummels? Choices.
Choices. Block for 2 or block for 2. Red Iron song in the bin for game.
Maybe he just blocks for 1 here.
Definitely not.
Concede.
I'm staring at his hand of 4 pummels, trying to figure out how to use them.
Oh my goodness.
That's one way to use those pummels.
Oh, okay. The match continues on.
But yeah, I mean, right now Josh has just more cards, so like if he
But
can
now
pair
he can't hammer
Swing
here.
that hammer.
Oh!
It's Shunt.
Oh
Shunt
no. Do it, Josh.
Do it!
Do it, Josh. Do it.
Shunt for game!
Touch him.
Aww. He blocked with bolters though, so the game should be over.
He blocked with Red Warrior's Valor, and I'm confused by that.
He's got some
It
other
means he has
stuff to
another
go
one.
again.
Yeah, means he has the other one.
There it is. This sucker's coming in for 8.
That's a big beefy boy. And he's got
With
the
a
tunic
resource up for your Arsenal.
tunic counter ready to
Better hope
go.
that Arsenal is nothing.
Does his opponent have 1 blizzard left? I feel like he has one. I feel like he has 1 blizzard left for some reason.
He does have 1 Blizzard left.
Oh,
Why
just a
for Xaxes?
oh,
Josh shouldn't have it. Darn it.
yeah, I think he's just trying to deck him out. Is all.
Oh, he's just trying to
It's-
get to the
it's-
shunt.
it's-
Just trying to get to that last shunt.
That too. Oh, here it is.
Tunic! Oh, no, he got tunic crown. He's got a
the
tunic crown.
Darn it, he's got the crown.
But all that's going to do is just save him from dying.
Just buys him a little time, yeah.
I think there's 1 blue shunt left.
Okay. I mean, realistically, Buddy's running out of cards.
Well, as long as Oldhim can hold 1 Earth card, his only out is to basically not die and then get it where all Josh can do is swing Dawnblade. And that'll make it.
Oh, baby.
Oh,
Well-
that pommel's back.
Oh, yeah, he's got pummels.
Oh, that blue pummel is back. You're right. Oh my
Oh.
god.
He's
That's
not about to win this with a blue pummel. There's no
He's gonna
way.
overblock. He has to, right?
Do it. Oh,
Oh my God.
he blocked with the Earth card too. Oh wait, wait. Can you?
Oh,
I can't remember. Can you use Oldham's?
No,
you cannot.
You can use. I think you can. use
Defense
Oldham's
reactions cannot be played. Yeah.
Yeah, it says defense reaction cards cannot be played.
You,
It
you
doesn't
can
say
use Oldham.
activated.
You can
It
use
says
Oldham.
defense reactions can't be played to Command and Conquer's Chain Link.
Played, not activated. There's difference.
Hmm.
Oh, sure.
Well, he got him.
Pummel
either
for game. Oh my god.
How does Dorinthea?
Wow.
How does Dorinthea in the game with
Wow.
CNC pummel? That's
way.
disrespectful.
CNC pummel. Fuck yeah, Josh.
Oh, I cannot wait to hear Josh's response in the chat. Oh,
That's so
my goodness.
good.
Well, thank you guys so much for watching. We're gonna get Josh in here to talk about the game. Hopefully, that puts us at a record of 4 wins and 1 loss in the in this week's league match against KayFabe Gaming. So, good games to them. Good games to them, and best of luck in the rest of y'all's matches. That was a fantastic way to end the matches for the day. CNC Pummel and Dorinthea for game. Because I think he's playing just the 1 pummel, right? And just pitched it to the bottom.
Pummel. Oh my god.
Nick Tucker says the CNC wording was changed. Oh, okay, but the functionality did not change. So
Oh,
never
okay.
mind.
Makes sense. Let's see.
Hi.
There he is.
Josh,
Yeah,
you,
I'm here.
you Dud.
That's disrespect.
That was the highest of disrespect to pummel
Yes,
and
it was
Oldhim
good.
for game with Dorinthea.
Yes. I used pummel better than Num did, I guess. Oh, actually, I set up 3 different win cons at the end of the game. So the first win con was the shunt,
Yep.
but he unfortunately had the card in the arsenal,
Yep.
the crown.
Yep.
So that was the first win con. The second win con was pummel with CNC. The third win con was I actually had 4 win cons. I had a glistening and a twinning left in my deck.
Yep.
And the other win con was blue overpower plus red puncture. So I had 4 different ways to close the game there.
Very nice.
But I was like, well, we got to go for the
Style
flashy one.
points. Yeah, style points.
Style points there.
Yeah.
So. But yeah, I think my opponent overall played pretty well. That matchup is also very, very difficult for Dory just in general. But the build that I was on is my friend's build. It's not my build. And it runs like 2 blue shunts in the sideboard, which I brought in. It runs the yellow shunts in the sideboard, which I brought in, and the red shunts obviously were in the sideboard. So it runs like Rainbow Shunt, and it has a Remembrance. He plays Glistening Steel Blade, which I don't really like, but I mean, it's a block 3, it's a yellow, I guess it's not too bad. But I brought in almost every card in my deck except Erase Face. So, like even CNC, like I was like, well, I was debating like, do I take out CNC? It's like really bad against Oldhim.
Right.
I was like, blocks 3. Maybe I'll pummel it, and then yeah, there you go.
And then you pummeled it. And the other CNC you played was a brilliant play as well. I really
I
liked
was
that
gonna
one
say,
too.
the other one you played, it seemed like he was sitting on a D-React when you played it
He
too. It
was.
just seemed so nice.
There was several situations there where I had to like consider my attack pattern very carefully. There was a lot of like weird, because I'm not used to like having run-throughs in my deck and Glistening Steel Blades and CNCs, so there was actually a lot of lines I had to like kind of discover as I went. And like that, because the deck played so heavily to the late game, you saw me like pitching Puncture, pitching Steel Blade Supremacy, like pitching Singing Steel Blade. Like I was like putting gas back into my deck just for later. Yeah.
All right.
Oh,
well,
Josh.
Yeah, go ahead.
I did call the when you pitched the red to swing, and then you jammed you pitched the blue card to overpower. I called it 100%. I said I know what he's doing.
Yeah, it was great.
Good job. That's a good way to get people. Is like, you're like, oh no, I have a red hand.
I used to do that to Kano's.
Red.
I used to do that to Kano's. Pitch the red to block
That's
one
what I
AB,
learned.
and then they go for it, and you're like, blue.
Yep, that's where I learned. That's where I learned that. Another thing is like late game. The Supremacy is like. Well, one weird thing is I never actually used my bolters the whole game.
Yeah, that was interesting.
That's super rare for that never to happen, but that's just the way the cards lined up.
Yeah.
The deck is like ultra late game. Playing Supremacy out is actually not good. So often just pitching it or holding it in your hand as like a bluff is better. So if you see me pitching Supremacy late game, you best beware. Because that's generally means I have like attack reactions in my hand.
It was fun to see you using the new cards. That new instant speed aura, admittedly here it didn't seem like it did a ton, but that card, I feel like that's got some good potential. What do you think?
Bumping it by 1 against Oldhim is not good. But bumping it by 1 against every other deck in the format is good.
Yeah, when you played it at instant speed on their turn in the start of the match, I was like, oh my god, it's like he's Prism. Like, that was cool. I like that.
Yep.
Well, thank you so much, everybody, for watching. I'm going to end the stream here. I know you guys have other places to be. We can continue talking about the match and everything, but thank you guys so much for watching. Please leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed. There's more FAB weekly Team League stuff coming up every week for the next several weeks, I believe. We have a few more matches to play. Each one is going to be completely different, probably. We get the opportunity to choose different decks and change things and whatnot. So should be a lot of variety in the weeks, and just a ton of fantastic players to watch. So we really appreciate you guys tuning in, and we will see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching.